What if I changed M's accent mid-game to that?
What rules? There we go. Oh, no, I'll do it. Oh, are we live? Hi, everyone. Welcome. Sorry,
Hey, folks.
was totally not aware that we were live. Hi, world. How you doing? Welcome to Which One Do I Roll? We are a stream that plays different RPGs regularly. This is, it looks like maybe our last session, maybe our second to last session of Beneath a Cursed Moon, which is a game by Carius. If you are not familiar with Carius, you can check out their stuff on itch.io. Also, you can find their link in the chat right now, like magic. No, not quite. Not that fast. Oh, well. Sorry. That was me.
He's a little rusty with his cantrips.
No, it's fine. My abilities suck. That's okay. Well, welcome. Anyway, yeah, this is our Twitch channel. We play games every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Sunday, Monday, and Thursday are all fantasy RPGs that are taking place in the same world. A lot of cross pollination. The games are affecting each other. Sometimes my players curse each other out a little bit. But on Fridays, we like to kick back and try different RPGs with different people running different things. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And this game, Beneath a Cursed Moon, is being run by the awesome Marcus. Marcus, do you want to talk about Beneath a Cursed Moon at all? Excellent. So Marcus is running it. He's our MC, as they say. And the three of us, Matthew, Nia, and Ash, hi, I'm Matthew, are all playing characters in it.
I'm Ash.
Hi, Ash. Hi, Nia. We also are labeled conveniently, so people can literally see our names.
Yeah, but I like saying my name.
I
picked it
like
myself.
Name,
I picked it myself.
I like saying your name as well, Ash. It's fun.
It is very fun because I'm an asshole. Hee hee. Hoo hoo.
It has been 24 hours since the last pun on this channel.
That's it? Rookie numbers.
Well, we didn't have a game yesterday, so or we did, but it was yesterday morning, so it's been 24 hours. Okay. Marcus, we should have a pun timer.
You really want to start keeping track of your pimer?
I really do. I think that would be hilarious. I don't know how we do that. Yeah.
Just make numpad 0 automatically 0 the clock while streaming.
That's yeah. That's great. We'll have to figure that out. Anyway, yeah, so this is the stream where we play different RPGs all the time and check out different things and do different things and figure out the question of which one do I roll. So that's the plan. And with that, I don't know, Marcus, I guess take it away.
Probably. On brand.
Whatever.
On recent brand.
Yes, well, this is obviously the most hyper on top of it professional stream ever run by anyone ever. And I honestly hope it's that way forever too, because I'm just having a good time.
Before we start, I would like to remind everyone that there is a Spotify link in the Discord so you can listen along to spooky music.
Ooh, do you want to put that in the chat for people who might be watching? That's probably
stupid. I don't think I can.
Why not?
Because that's a Discord feature, not a in general feature. Spotify is working on it, but Discord did that themselves.
That's awesome.
It is really neat.
Thank you, Discord.
But I can share the playlist.
That's fine. That's good enough. I will take that.
There's the playlist. Yes, he's on the ground. Knife against the
Yeah.
throat while he's on the ground. M is also pinning him against the right shoulder, while Lady Anne's on the other side.
Mm. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
And you said his name is Lord Montgomery? Lord Montgomery.
Yeah, there were definitely two there because M had just eviscerated one. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
I think you were doing like in a circle, all of us, and then them. I think it went Lady Anne, M, and then Nia's character, whose name I forgot. Whoops. Moss.
Moss.
Okay, so what is the current battlefield situation? Because I remember I was not pinning the guy once he summoned them. I went to hybrid form and was rushing into them.
Mm-hmm.
Eviscerated one of the gargoyles. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know I killed one because I healed myself, and then but I don't know if like maybe M did the most damage and I just finished it off. It was like already damaged.
I don't think I killed any of them. I was just focused on this guy. So.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh right, sorry. That is totally fair. I did do that, but
yeah,
yeah, that was a consequence of my action, not my action itself.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds right.
Works for me. Cool. Lord Montgomery, of course you have something to do with this. Cease your prattle. Summon no more, or I shall slay you.
Marcus, check your mic on OBS. Dusty says they cannot hear you.
Oh yes. No, yeah, I was muted.
On brand.
Thank you, Dusty.
As you were saying earlier.
It's never gonna stop. Did I say anything super? I feel like everybody else was
just the recap.
And,
yeah, we were recapping.
Okay. So in short, M, the werewolf, is in the midst of things. We have killed 2, I think, total gargoyles, and there are 3 right now. 2 have just been summoned. Lady Anne is on top of the summoner. 1 gargoyle is approaching Lady Anne. 1 gargoyle is approaching Mois. And I can't remember whether that 3rd one is, or if that's one I just killed.
The 3rd one is also approaching Moss, I think.
There's 1 approaching Moss, and you've killed the 2nd, but technically the 1st, because 1 died before getting on the field. Yeah. So that one is approaching Moss. The 2 that have arrived are far enough away that you all can't. Well, M can't reach them. Given that M doesn't have range stuff other than throwing shit. Lady Anne, you've just. Oh well, they could hear you. Yeah. So Lord Montgomery responds. What did you tell him? You intend to kill him?
Cease your prattle and stop summoning things, or I will kill you. I'm threatening this fool.
You can try if you'd like to. You won't.
I won't
show you that. Kill me.
When he says that, M will turn around with a very large snarl on their half werewolf face.
Okay, how much? Yeah. How healthy is he looking? I know I've stabbed him once.
Daggers do 1. Is that true?
My dagger is a ritual dagger, so it does 3.
Okay. He's okay.
And I did 4 because I spent my thing to do extra damage.
Well, he's been stabbed, but he's not on the brink of death. He is not bloodied. I'll say, in other terms. Yeah. After you say, "I won't what," and he responds, "Kill me," His skin gets a sheen to it, like a greenish, not translucent. What's the word? Like slightly reflective sheen. Um, but he hasn't done anything yet. It's gradually getting shinier and more green.
Okay, I want to, let's see. Okay. I'm going to cause him to suffer pain through my agonizing lightning.
Okay. You're on top of him. Is that true?
No. So I remember last session, I was kind of going back through it in my head. Because those gargoyles had come, M stood up because one was about to attack Moss and bum rushed it while turning wolf.
Okay.
So I'm currently closer to Moss than I am to Lady Anne.
And Lady Anne, you have him on the ground. I have the image of the knife against his neck, but what else are you doing? Like knee on his chest, hand around his...
I think knife on his neck. I think knee on his chest, skirts sort of frumpled around me, like uncomfortably, and with one knife on, with my hand on the knife on his neck, my other hand illuminates with lightning, and I'm going to cause him to experience extreme lightning pain.
Okay, go for it. I think that's a sorcery roll, Infernal Sorcery.
Yes, it is.
Also, just as a note, the knee that you have on his chest bumps up against an object. If you look at it, you would notice the silhouette of a face near his chest, slightly below it.
Well, I would fail, but I'm going to spend my last hold to make it a 7.
Awesome.
So I will only suffer a drawback.
Forward.
Is that it goes off without a hitch? Also, sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said, Ash.
I was talking to myself. I think I gave someone 1 forward last time, but it may have been used.
I think I used it last time to make a 9, a 10.
I think that's about. Yeah, I think that's correct.
So I suffer a combat spell drawback.
Yeah. I'll say you suffer 1 harm. You've essentially created a circuit with your body and his. So as you shock him, it also shocks you.
Sounds good. Well, that's fine.
Shocking turn of events.
Suffers 4 harm.
Okay.
Any harm he attempts to do is reduced by 1. So.
Oh, ongoing?
Until I next go.
Okay, so anything he does this turn will be reduced by 1 harm.
Yeah.
Okay. M and Moss, you haven't done anything. Do you have an aim?
Moss, you want to go first? Because you guys can probably guess what M's gonna do.
Yeah, which is why you should go first.
Okay. Is there one closer to me or one that's like really close to Moss?
It is closer to Moss. It hasn't arrived. I'll say it isn't next to you. To you?
To Moss. How close to Moss would it be?
Like 3 yards. Which would be like 10 feet, I think.
About 9.
Okay.
Because it's 3 feet per yard. I'm just trying to think.
Oh yeah.
Does it look like Moss is in immediate danger from this gargoyle?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then...
Even more so because it's not approaching to harm her. It's approaching to get close enough to actually, you don't know, but it's starting to emit like a flame from its mouth. But
okay, seeing that, M will, in her hybrid form, run over towards it, and I'm gonna so I'm gonna roll a battle to attack it. If I can get to close that distance within a reasonable amount of time.
Oh, easily. Yeah, it won't even be a parrying action. Like you get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll roll a battle. Very M. So that's a 13. So that is that's knowledge. That is a choose 3. Wonderful. So I will deal harm
on 2d6 plus 4. I love it.
Right. So that's a 5 harm to it. Does that kill it?
No.
Okay. I will draw its attention with part of my second action, and I will force it into a position I want by pushing it about 2 to a couple more yards further away from Moss onto a wall. If that is reasonable.
Yeah, that works for me.
So I tackle it and just like stab into its gut.
Does it say you move it, or does it intimate that you like restrain it?
You force an opponent into a position you want.
Okay, so you move it.
Yeah, and then draw your opponent's attention onto you and away from others.
Okay, so at this point it's probably closer to 15 feet from Moss, and okay, you are between it and Moss.
In my mind, I think M just rushes up and tackles it and like claws at it the entire time, biting it while pushing it against the wall.
Yeah, and it's not a wall like in the conventional sense. It's probably a stack of books, or not a stack of books, but like
just
a shelf.
Somewhere that I can get it like pinned.
Yeah, just for flavor. You've pinned it against the bookshelf, and some have fallen down naturally.
Got it.
Yeah. Moss, do you have anything you?
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna do some astral sorcery and hope I roll well. Oh no.
That's not terrible.
Oh, no, that's okay. Right.
I'm gonna remind everyone that our die rolls are not visible to the stream, so announce.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, actually, they could be though. One sec.
I was about to say, did we do that?
Don't worry about it, Marcus.
Yeah.
Focus, run the game.
Yeah. It's okay. I will do both, or I'll try.
Yeah, that's fair.
You were casting actual sorcery. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't see the roll. What was it?
It's a 9.
Okay. 7 and 9 is one drawback. What were you trying to do?
Right. I was going to stop the other one with my spectral tendrils.
The one that Ash has just moved away from you?
No, the other one.
Okay. There's two more, but it doesn't. We're like theater of the mind, so it doesn't.
Just either of the other two.
Okay. Yeah, drawback. I'm gonna say also target a creature you didn't want to again, just because I like that one for that spell in particular. I'll let you choose though. I think I chose last time.
I mean, I feel like it just has to make sense for it to be M.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
M I like does not like your sorcery.
So you've just moved this gargoyle. Well, moved is tame. You've thrown it against the wall essentially and pinned it against it. And then you are, like last time, enveloped by spectral tentacles and restrained. In front of it.
M lets out a yelp and a howl and looks back towards Moss like, again?
I'm sorry.
Moss, dear, you have to have more control than that.
You're telling me.
Well, there's a person wolfing out. There's a couple feet away.
Yeah, but Lady Anne doesn't care about like you wolfing out. Your job is to wolf out. True. Moss is supposed to be a very tightly controlled eldritch sorcerer, right? She's a dreamer. Come on, be better.
Fair enough.
This is the person who just electrocuted themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A little jolt to the leg.
Ash, as you as you turn around from having looked back at Moss, the gargoyle releases a gout of flame.
Okay.
Pretty much in your face. I don't know how close you had your face to it, but it's right in front of you, so.
Pretty. I'm probably like right on it.
Yeah, I thought so too. Oh, actually, it's a ranged attack, so I don't know if it makes. Yeah, this isn't fucking D&D. Yeah, it releases a gout of flame in your face. You take 2 harm unless you have.
I have 2 armor.
Yeah, yeah, you do. That's so funny. You take no harm. How do you see that going down? Because you don't wear like plate armor or anything. What is it that?
So I think instead of it like hitting me and then deflecting, it's more of an M sees it about to let it go and just like grabs its face and pushes it up, so it just goes straight into the air instead.
I like that. Yeah. Okay.
And like it's got a little bit of the burns my hand a bit, but it doesn't hurt me because they're already burned.
That's true. Yeah, they're probably pretty numb at this point. Yeah. So one of the other 2 is restrained, so that one is dealing with that. It's
Got it.
Yeah, uncomfortable with that, writhing, etc. The other one is approaching, and I think it's approaching Lady Anne. And it's also starting to charge up its breath weapon, so to speak. Lady Anne. Lord Montgomery, in your hand, doesn't disappear, but he what's the word? He melts. He melts into a green, yeah. He melts into a green shimmering fluid, and any part of you that was in contact with it sears. It burns. From what you can gather, he has turned himself into an acid, and this pool of acid beneath you moves as if it has consciousness and moves away from you, toward the gargoyle, past it, and then materializes again as Lord Montgomery behind it.
So I have a very weird question, and I get that I'm pushing the rules on a system that like we don't fully have mastery of, but I'm just curious if I can pull this off. Would you say that acid is an elemental in this game?
In the sense of like fire, earth, water, etc.
Yeah, fire, ice, lightning, etc. Literally, it says fire, ice, lightning, earth, etc. on my abilities. Acid is one of them.
Can you describe the ability?
Do I have to first? Yes. Okay, fair enough.
No, you don't have to if you don't want to. I also think it might be more interesting if I don't know, and I decide arbitrarily. But
I mean, yeah, I would. That's what I would vote for.
I'm down for that. But also, yeah, let me think about it. Because element like implies that it's not basic, or actually, yeah, basic might be right, but it's fundamental.
Acid is acidic.
Nice fun.
Just no, it's literally acidic. On pH is basic versus acid.
Okay,
it's, or alkaline, technically. I think is the word.
I thought you were. Yeah.
No.
I thought you were referring to fundamental, not basic. So I didn't get that right away, but that's excellent.
No, I was referring to
pH.
Literally speaking, alkaline. I think.
Yeah, I don't know that acid is fundamental. I feel like it's like, if anything, and this is very like it's nonsense, but it's like fire water, or like earth water more than it is something fundamental. So no, I'm very sorry.
Totally fair. Just had to try. You know, can't help but try every once in a while. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's bullshit.
Oh, you don't have any armor, do you? Oh, no. But he does one less harm on his turn. Okay, so so the potency of this acid is less than any that you've or less than most than you have any experience with, assuming that you have some experience with it. You think normally if it was strong enough it would burn you, but it has not, other than being like irritating.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. How close is he to the gargoyles that are back there?
So one has started to approach you. The other one is tied up and dealing with that. It is closer to that one. He is closer to that one. And he is probably within 5 feet. So practically next to it. Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna like, oh no, you don't, and throw an explosive blast at this fuckhole.
Ooh, yeah, please do.
Pardon my language.
I should also know that he's running away. He rematerialized and he was running away further into the stacks, into the shelves.
Is he closer to me than he was before?
No, he's further now. He's heading toward the back of the library, whereas you all are towards the front.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna do that. I'm going to do that and then say, like immediately after that, Moss dear, if you could stop him. I'm gonna. I think I care about him and I don't care about the gargoyles. It's like the gargoyles attack me, that's annoying, but I'm gonna deal with him. So I'm gonna throw an icy shard at him, assuming I can. And again, one drawback.
Yeah, let me look at the drawbacks again. I'm inclined to say one harm again, but I'm gonna use one over.
Yeah. It's a conveniently easy one, so.
Oh, okay. You put yourself in a bad position or take too much time to cast, exposing you to danger.
Perfect.
That one. Specifically, taking too much time to cast. I think maybe that shock gave you a bit of a, like not a tick, because that's like its own thing. But yeah, you're a little out of it from that shock.
Yeah, I'm a little jittery or whatever. And does that mean the gargoyles like get into melee with me like they want to? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But but that still means that I'm hitting him. So I am exposed. I call Lady Moss to freeze him down, or to stop him somehow, and I shoot my icy blast and do 5 harm.
Oh wow. Okay. Are you aiming anywhere in particular? Like leg, arm, chest?
Yeah, I really want to. My goal is to. I would. Let me check the battle magic rules for 1 second. This is a new system for us in some ways. Just want to see anything. I don't get a benefit. Yeah, I don't get a benefit. Had I gotten a benefit, I would have tried to dislodge the thing from his front jacket. I didn't steal that before, and I'm regretting that already. So I would have done that. So I'm shooting for his chest at this point.
Just behind where you think the object is to try to dislodge it.
To knock it out of him somehow, and I don't know. I mean, it doesn't physically make sense, and it probably won't work, and that's okay. I didn't get the benefit, but that's certainly what I'm shooting for.
Yeah, and you hit it spot on. It's an ice shard, so it's, I assume, pointy, and God, trying to choose my words carefully because there's some that I don't like using. It pierces him. It pierces him and goes. You see through. You don't see an exit wound, obviously, because he's a ways away. But you do hear the sound of a spike, essentially, going through a person, and then hitting something rigid, something like plastic, clay, something along those lines. Probably not plastic, actually, but yeah, something hard. And he heals over. You assume, or you could assume, dead.
Sounds good. I'm a fan, but I'm in a bad position.
Yes. Do you think above game? Do you think that means it can act on you? Because I've assumed that it's gotten closer, but does it feel over the top to let it use its combat actions at this point?
No, if I'm in a bad position, I'm in a bad position. I think it absolutely can use its combat actions.
All right. Yeah, I feel bad for this. Also, I've used this one wrong. It actually has 2 attack effects.
Okay.
And I only used 1 last turn, so it probably could have done the fire thing twice. But it's going to do the fire thing to you. That gout of flame that it was charging up as it was running releases as it's on its way and still approaching. And it hits you dead on.
Well, I'm going to command the elements then.
Yeah,
which is what I was going to try to do to this acidic person earlier.
Yeah, that'll work.
Elements ability. So I can command elements, make an Infernal Sorcery roll. On high enough, I reduce the harm. On even higher, I can even redirect it, potentially, if I roll high enough.
Awesome.
Good to know. Let's find out how I roll. This is...
which one do you roll?
Infernal Sorcery. Oh.
Oh, she had a sting, like a music sting.
I'm playing a game here, Ash. I'm not busy thinking about promoting everything all the time. Okay, 12. Reduce the harm of any attacks against you by 2, or against allies standing next to me by 1. No one's standing next to me, so that's good. Excellent. How much harm would the attack normally do?
2 normally.
Great. If you reduce the harm of the attack to 0, you can instead redirect it to a new target of your choice. And I redirect it right back at this fool. I don't know if they're immune to fire, but if not, they're going to get burnt by their own fire damage.
That's radical. I love that so much. What does it look like? Do you redirect it, or is it like a deflection, or
Yeah. So they're breathing fire. Is that what they're doing?
Yes.
Okay. So it breathes fire, and I think I just cackle and say, "The fire is mine," and I grab it from midair with a swoop of my hand and gesture it behind my back and around and right back at it.
Right into its face. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, it takes 2 harm from its own fire breath. God, that rolls. Oh yeah, also trying to use fire on an Infernal Sorcerer. What a bad move. But it's also going to claw you. So yeah, once you do that, it's visibly irritated, and it brings a claw in an upward slice towards your face. Oh, actually, it does so. So that'll be 3 harm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's a normal. Claws are 3. Great. Cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, I am now injured.
Cool. M and Moss. Or Moss. Yeah.
I think I'll take this one again because I currently am in a good position. Moss, your thought?
Moss?
You know.
Okay. I'm gonna rip its head off.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll a Beatle. That is a 5 + 2 + 4 for an 11, which I love the fact that I'm good. So I choose 2. I'm gonna deal harm. 5. Does that kill it?
No.
Ooh.
God bless America. Since I am still technically grappled by the actual stuff, can I use the you break free from your opponent's grasp or break as to get away from Moss's tendrils?
Does that stop on your next turn, Moss?
Yeah.
Then I will not do that.
Well, we could treat the whole turn as like the group turn, since you guys don't have to go in a particular order. If you would like them to still be there, I'm okay with that too. If you want to do something.
I was thinking. So there's the you take or keep an item or position. Oh, does it have armor?
Yes.
Don't forget the shred ability, so that is automatic. So it did bypass, removes 1 armor last session.
You've done that twice now.
Yeah, so it'll
yeah.
reduce.
Okay, so yeah, this one has no armor.
Now
you've shredded it completely. Yeah.
And then I will deal another harm with my +1, my additional forward.
So that's 6 total.
6 harm. Yes.
And it was 5 last time. Okay, yeah, I need to redo the math because it didn't have armor. Well, it had 1 left last time, and it has none now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this time
it only reduces by 1. So if it had like 5 armor, it's now at 4 and stays there.
Yeah. You're trying to decapitate it this time.
Yes.
With a claw.
Yeah.
You do that. What does it look like?
M just claws into the chest and rips up from like the middle of the spine, where the spine would be. Yeah. And taking that, can I, with a daring action, yeet it at the guy who's running?
Yeah, please. At Lord Montgomery?
Yes.
He's dead. He's on the ground, but you can throw it at another gargoyle if you want.
Can I say I yeet it before the fireball hits him?
Yes.
Please say yes.
It could be at the same time. It was an ice spike, but yeah, it could be at the same time.
Okay. I love the idea that later M and Lady Anne are just going to be arguing about which one of us took down Lord Montgomery.
I'm trying to check if I get a... Okay, I do get... Would you say this is focused on speed or brute strength?
I feel like brute strength.
Okay, so that does give me a 1. That's a 5, so that daring action fails, unless you're just going to let that happen.
I'd like to. I can do that, right? Yeah.
You can just have it, because it is just a story.
It's very funny.
He's already dead anyway.
Yeah, so you launch this gargoyle's bird, reptilian bird head, with its spine still attached to, like, Scorpion or whoever the fuck does that, and it conks...
Like a little wind tail.
Yes, it conks Montgomery on the head, just at the exact same time as the ice spike that Lady Anne has launched goes through him and hits the inside of his coat and whatever object is in there.
That's great.
Yeah, it is awesome.
And then looking around, there's the one more gargoyle, right?
There's one restrained and one, well, not restrained at this point, but the one that just attacked Lady Anne.
Got it.
Yeah.
That is all I can do.
Okay. So, I'm going to try and attack the one that Lady Anne is engaged with. Ooh, a 12. So, nice. I'm going to use Acidic Mist. That's 3 harm, and it ignores armor.
Yeah, okay, so...
You get a bonus?
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Right.
No, it's 13. You get a...
No.
Never mind.
Yeah.
13, you get a bonus. Sorry.
Is it goes off without a hitch on 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, off, no problem. You do that successfully, but does it look any certain way? Because usually, like, your summoning stuff is, like, otherworldly, and it's, like, spectral, etc. What does this look like, as opposed to that stuff?
Yeah, the mist just kind of... I just exhale a very deep breath, and it just comes out green before wrapping around this gargoyle's head.
Okay. I assume the angle is such that, like, you won't hit Lady Anne, and it erodes away parts of this thing's beak. It's like a normal bird beak made of whatever those are made of, I don't know. But parts of it have like sloughed off, like they've eroded enough that pieces of it can just fall off, and it's taken. It ignores armor.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it's taken those 3, and then it took 2 from Lady Anne. Okay.
From itself. Sorry.
That's true. Yeah. I guess it's their turn now. So the one that is restrained is no longer restrained, and it is also. I'll say it heads toward Moss, seeing that Moss has just damaged its comrade. Does it make sense that it has? Oh, actually, I'll say it's far enough away that it can use its flame breath. It could do it twice. I'm just gonna say that it is using like an empowered version, if that's okay. If everyone's okay with that. But yeah, it's releasing a stronger God of Flame. It does that thing. Have y'all seen Shin Gojira? Where like it releases, or Gojira like does the flame breath thing, but it like intensifies into a laser. It kind of does that. And it hits Moss in the arm, I'll say, and scorches parts of your sleeves away if you have long sleeves. For 4 damage, unless you have armor.
Oh, ouch.
And then Lady Anne, this one, knowing better than to try the flame breath thing again, will claw at you twice.
Yeah.
For 6.
Sorry, hold on. Let me check something.
Yeah.
This is a minion, right? Of some sort.
Yeah. It's not a lord, so I assume it is.
Cool. Then, I'm gonna, because we've never rolled it before on this channel, I'm gonna attempt to resist dark magic.
Sure. Yeah.
Ward away evil creatures, including imps, skeletons, monstrous warriors, vampires, succubi, fae, vampire, whatever, vampire lords. Sure. Yeah. So that this falls in that category somewhere. Let's see how that goes. My resist dark magic is fine. 9. So that means you can ward away minor minions.
Yeah, let me check their stat block really quick. I don't know if that's a
minor minions like skeletons or imps.
Ooh, So imps are, in comparison, imps have two. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're essentially what you fought the first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they have max 2 harm. Oh yeah, demon minion. So no, this is a demon warrior.
There you go.
Yeah.
Would require me to get a 10. So there goes that.
And what did you get? 9?
I got a 9.
Oh, you have hold, don't you?
Nope, I am now out.
Oh crap. Okay. Yeah. So it successfully claws at your form. I'll say like at your abdomen twice. At both claws at the same time. For 6 harm. How are you doing?
I'm out.
Oh boy. Okay.
Lady Anne goes down.
Yeah, Lady Anne goes down. But that's their turn. So Moss and M, you have the floor.
M, seeing that, is going to. How far away is that gargoyle?
Not far. I'll say like 15 yards, or not yards, feet.
15 feet, so 5 yards.
Yes.
M will rush it. And I would like to. Let me double check something. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna rush it to do a battle again and just attack it.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me double check my abilities real quick. Oh, didn't mean to send that in there. That's okay. I didn't mean to open up. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here. Does Rampage give me additional benefits for damage? I don't think it does. It does not. That's unfortunate. So I'll just do a battle to kick its ass. And kick its ass I do, as normal. So that is a 2. I keep looking at knowledge because it's like dead center when I go to battle. So it's like, hold 4. What? I don't get 4. So I get 2. I'll deal harm. So, and that does the shred. So its armor goes down by 1. And I will. I'm gonna force it into a position I want by throwing it further away from Lady Anne to the point where I don't believe its breath attack could get her.
Do you follow it? Like you say, you throw it, but do you go as far back as it does, or do you want to be right in front of Lady Anne?
I'm gonna protect Lady Anne.
Okay. So yeah, I'll say you throw it 5-10 feet, anywhere between there, and it's that far away from you and Lady Anne. Moss, what do you got?
I didn't know you cared.
So I'm gonna try and
Shut up, you're dead.
You're dead. Use the other necromancy spell I know, but first let's see if it works. No! Well, just one drawback.
I will say that once you've taken 10, you cannot rejoin combat.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Em, how much did you say? How much damage did you say you did? I didn't count that.
5 is normal.
Okay.
So that is reduced by its armor, but its armor is reduced by 1.
Okay, perfect.
And that's the one that's taking acid and fire damage?
So. Oh, yeah, it has. Oh, okay, yeah, it's not dead yet. But it does not look good, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Moss.
Yeah, so the one that's more damaged, I will go ahead and drain its soul. Okay. So I can heal 1 harm for myself and 2 harm on them. Ignores armor as well. And it's range, so I don't have to get any closer to it.
You've described it as being like a desiccating like force, right? Like they just kind of wither away, or is it like dust? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. You kill it with 2 damage. Even if it, yeah, you kill it. And it crumbles into nothing. And then there's one left. The one I think that was restrained and was heading towards Moss. Oh, and damaged you, didn't it? The one that did the fire breath thing to you just now, or not just now, but last turn.
I killed that.
No.
No, you killed the one that was in front of Lady Anne.
Yeah, but I thought it did its fire.
No. Sorry.
Head off and threw it.
No, yeah. Moss restrained one of the ones that was not anywhere near Moss.
Okay.
Yeah, there was 3 total starting.
Yeah.
You killed the one by the bookcase.
And Lord Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeah, this one I don't think has taken any harm yet.
Okay.
I think it's just gonna do the fire breath thing again, but the charged up version. So it does the same thing to you, like to you, Moss. That powered up fire breath, and it does 4 harm. Fire. How are you looking?
Up to 7 now.
Okay. But that's all it can do, and it stays where it is. Oh, and you have a drawback.
Oh yeah. I do indeed.
Target a creature you didn't want to.
Oof.
It can be Lady Anne, but I'm gonna say that's gonna have like a negative effect. Not like wild, like yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would prefer I not double kill Lady Anne. So
double kill.
M is just always the target.
It can be.
M is gonna make you the target.
Oh, then I'll die.
So I believe you suffer. Actually, oh, does it? Did you say it ignores armor?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the range on that? Because I'm pretty far away from you.
It just says ranged.
Yeah, it's either just ranged or not.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so you take 2 harm, and it feels like you've had a bit of your soul.
Then do I heal another harm?
Yeah, if you want, you can do that.
Sure, that's okay, because I have armor.
Why waste it? Yeah.
Sorry.
But it is y'all's turn again. Y'all's collective turn.
How far away is that gargoyle from me?
Not very far.
You can guess what M's gonna do. That's another 2. I don't think I've rolled real good battles this entire time. So I'll rush up to it to deal harm. 5 and -1 to the armor.
Okay.
And what is the arrangement Like, how close to moss is this gargoyle?
Your path that you're taking towards it is how close to moss? It's not. It's like 10 feet. Your path to it is perpendicular to moss's path to it. You've cut it off essentially, but you haven't gotten in the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll do another get an advantageous position. Actually, no, I'm gonna throw it off balance, giving my allies 1 forward to it.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I just rush up and like shoulder check it.
I think that's you, Moss. Well, it has to be, I guess.
That's one.
How much harm has it taken so far?
4 from M.
Okay.
Oh, it only has 1 armor.
No, yeah, it starts with 2 and then you shred 1.
Yeah, but it applies and then it's shredded after the attack.
Oh, is that true? Last time I thought you said it was the opposite. Okay, so it's taken 3 and then it has 1 armor now.
Actually, I don't know. It's your call.
I'm okay with it being. Maybe I'm too lenient. I don't know. It's the last one. There's not going to be any more coming, so I'll say it's afterward. Yeah. So it's taken 3 and then it has 1 armor.
So I just rolled a 10 for necromancy. So same deal as last time, 2 harm, and then I heal 1 harm.
Cool. So it's taken 5 total now. And it's Gargoyle's turn again. Given that you're the closest threat, it's going to do the laser breath thing at you.
Can I do a daring action to dodge out of the way?
Yeah, go for it.
That is a accomplished attacks, but something bad happens as well, so probably not.
I'll say that something bad is like a drawback rather than the attack hitting. Because it implies that you succeed at a cost, right?
Yeah, so it could be like I end up in a bad position, taking -1 forward until I recover. So it would get a +1 against me in future attacks.
How much harm are you at right now?
How much harm? Oh, I'm fine.
Okay. I don't anticipate it having many more future attacks. Actually, yeah, that
I could just reduce the damage to the 2 instead of like the full 4.
The -1 forward works actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dodge the flame, but I'm like balancing on a book.
Yeah. So this gout of flame, this intense laser breath, misses you, and moves kind of like traces a path towards Moss, but also misses.
Okay.
Yeah, that's its turn. Yeah. So you can do something with a -1, and Moss, you can do something.
Yeah, I think M is going to put a lot of time and thought into her action and attack. So that is going to be again a choose 2. So deal harm. So that's the 5. Does that kill it?
No. You can tell
if
it's
I
on
add
its
an
last
additional
leg.
harm, does that kill it?
Yeah, it would.
Okay, then I'll spend all my points to do the harm.
What does this look like?
M, having just been thrown off her feet a bit, kind of like stumbles forward and accidentally shoulder checks it, and then using the falling forward motion, brings her right hand and claws down its face through the stomach, kind of like pulling its head a bit open.
Yeah, you do that expertly, like you're practiced.
Probably a bit.
Yeah, and it falls limp. And that's 4, no, technically 5 dead gargoyles and 1 dead warlock.
M will rush over to Lady Anne to do a patch up.
Okay, yeah, and Greta will do the same thing. So Lady Anne,
Greta's been here this whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Where'd you come
Greta is functioning as like a free patch up after fights, I think. I don't know if I want to help you all any more than, because you're doing great.
I'm a cleric.
Pretty much.
Just behind the library desk.
Oh, actually, I don't know if harm works that way. Is it like you go back to 0 once you've taken 10 or something? Like is
No.
No, you stay at 10.
just
Just
reduced
patch up
to 1.
reduces by 1.
Oh man, so you're at 8 on Lady Anne
So,
if
yeah,
2
so I
people patch you up.
1
Okay.
myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm allowed to patch up 1, so I will do that.
Yes.
And then let's see. M, you're helping patch me up?
Yes.
Okay. And then Greta's helping patch me up?
Mhm.
Okay. That puts me at 7. Cool. I'll take it.
It's a lot of harm. I think a majority of it was claws.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're a little toe up from the flow up. So
A little toasty.
yeah.
Well, this dress is ruined.
Yeah, you all successfully marked these abominations. Oh, they're not abominations, but yeah, these monsters. As the last gargoyle goes limp and all of you all finish patching Lady Anne up, the skeleton
M goes out of wolf form.
Okay. Is that a control thing? No.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it?
So that's what I rolled. That's the 8,
good.
so that means I am able to hold it back for now, so that I transform back.
Awesome.
I'm also going to patch up, but I can heal an additional harm with Whispers of the Sleeper.
Nice.
Is that a ritual?
No, it just says whenever you take the patch up move, you can listen to the whispers of the sleeper, choosing one of the following benefits, and one of them is heal an additional harm.
Nice.
Cool. So 5 total. Does that put you at 5? Sorry, go ahead. I didn't catch what you said, Vanish.
I'm sorry, I said, is that a dreamer ability?
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that right, though? Does that put you at 5?
I'm down to 3.
Oh, you're down. Oh, you're patching yourself up. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Lady Anne.
Nope.
No, myself. Sorry.
Okay. No. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
So you're at 3. Lady
Yeah,
Anne is at 7.
Had 3 others.
Cool. Yeah. So once we've reached this place of relative stillness in comparison to the fight that you all have just gone through, the skeleton at the desk toward the entrance jolts up as if it's just woken up. It like as if it fell asleep at the desk on the job, and it sees you all, and says, well, "Oh wow, what a racket! Jeez, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to." And then, as it notices that you aren't like a boss figure, like a managerial figure, it relaxes a little bit, and then goes back to its work at its desk. And you all are free to proceed as you wish.
M will spend some time to patch yourself up a bit. It's like licking your wounds, possibly literally.
Yeah, that like healing enzyme in your spit, like dogs do. Yeah.
That's all M does. She just comes up and spits on you to heal you.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I want to. Thanks.
She doesn't do that.
Thanks ever so.
I'm uncomfortable now.
The stress is ruined. And did anyone look at what was in Lord Montgomery's pockets? I knocked it loose, but I did not see what it was.
Nope.
You're the only one that noticed that it was there.
Oh, fair enough. I walk over and I pick up whatever it is.
It's a mask.
Oh, it's a mask.
Yeah. You would recognize it as a death mask.
Would I recognize it as being a death mask for a particular person?
Yes. But you wouldn't recognize the person. So
Okay.
no, I think ultimately is what you're. Yeah.
Yes. It is a death mask for a particular person. I just don't know the person. Yeah. Excellent. Well then, who's this person who was surprised that we weren't bosses? What are they?
So when you walked in, there was a skeleton at the desk.
Right.
Yeah, it just woke up. It was sleeping.
Cool. Well, then I guess I'll go talk to it.
Okay. You know that thing that people do at a front desk, especially libraries, where they aren't ignoring you, but they are still focused on the thing that they're doing? Mm-hmm. It does that. Can I help you?
Just looking around a little.
As you pause
what do you do here?
as you pause, it looks away from what it's doing and looks at you. As you ask what it's doing, it looks at the desk. It looks around at the library behind it. It looks at you, and it says, "I'm the librarian."
I love a good librarian. Tell me, if I needed some information, could you help me out about previous people who have utilized the library and to what ends they've used it?
To an extent, I could tell you who checked out books. I can't tell you who's coming in and out. That's not really what we do.
Oh, sure. This is Lord Montgomery over there on the floor, correct?
It looks over at Lord Montgomery and then looks back and says yes.
Excellent. Does he check out books here often?
Often, no. He's been here before, and he usually goes straight. He usually ambles around, as far as I can tell. Ambles around, and then he usually goes to the back.
What's in the back?
It's usually at the back of a library. An image of the back of the library at the Institute may come to mind, and its secret section, quote unquote secret section.
Yeah. Can I use my interview move here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. With the 10, I get to ask 2 questions. What is the skeleton I'm talking to hiding from me?
Their teeth.
Would it be hiding its teeth? They're kind of out there. I think it knows. I think it knows Lord Montgomery better than it's letting on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you explicitly asked about that, but it's familiar with Lord Montgomery more than it might intimate otherwise. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. What does this skeleton feel most guilty of? I took this move. It's going to be useful at some point. No?
No. Yeah, it does. It doesn't feel guilty about having fallen asleep because nobody caught it. But it feels guilty about like the potential of having been caught being asleep on the job.
Yes.
That's all I got. It. I'm so sorry.
Finally useful. Oh wait. Okay, and then let's see. Are there any inconsistencies in the skeleton story?
Kind of. The back of a library having a secret section isn't necessarily par for the course. It's par for the course here and in the Institute because those are places with relatively like large amounts of resources to warrant having like a secret section in books that weren't being kept in a secret section.
Okay.
But as far as what it's telling you, everything is true. Above the board. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Guys, help me out here. So last week we found that there's a ritual that we have to stop. It's going to summon Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla dinosaur dragon man thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Vlad is going to ride it.
That's assumed. I don't.
It's undetermined. Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Undetermined, but safe to assume.
Marcus fiercely makes a note.
Yeah, I'm not inspiring at all. No.
You also found a note. I don't know if you remember that. Let me pull it up. You found a note that had a series of symbols. Well, it had 3 lines. Each line started with a series of symbols that meant nothing to you, and are not important above game. But then they also have scrawled words next to each one, individual words. The first being divine, the second being conjure, and the third being souls.
Right. I did put that in my notes, but then I made the mistake of not knowing where my notes are.
Yeah, I got it in mind.
Forgot about that.
Divine, then
Conjure,
and then
souls.
Well, I'm gonna poke around then, if that's okay. Unless someone wants to poke around. Anyone good at poking around?
I got a +2.
It's better than me.
So I'll. What are you poking around for? M might not be able to help.
I should also note, this is just something I forgot. You all actually saw another mask, and it was on the person of Harlock Graves.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, Lady Anne, upon seeing the one that you found now, you would recognize it as being similar to the other one.
Right.
Lady Anne, what are you looking for?
Hell if Matthew knows.
Like, M isn't exactly the most learned person.
So there's something I can do now if we want to think about it some more. This is not a ritual. This is just a dreamer ability called Commune. So I'll just like take a nice little nap and slip into the world of dreams. And then I'll be able to ask questions depending on an investigation roll.
Yeah.
The snoring ambience of the library.
Yeah, I'll say there's like a lounge type area where you all could rest. I'll also say that it gives you enough time to patch up again. So in whatever combination you want, like each other yourselves.
I'm gonna reduce myself down to the 0 harm I need.
Cool. Greta is gonna patch up Lady Anne, for 1. So whatever else you get +1, Lady Anne,
nice.
for patching up. Yeah.
Thanks, Greta.
No problem. And then Moss, you have an investigation roll? You can also patch up if you want, yourself or Lady Anne or whoever. But yeah, it's investigation.
If this is technically an investigation phase, we can patch up again as well.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'll patch up Lady Anne.
Wow.
Help her patch.
I feel like I'm getting all patchy.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something?
Oh, are you gonna patch yourself up twice, or yourself and someone else, or?
I'm gonna patch myself up twice.
Okay.
Since you're doing the thing,
you can't patch up if you're making the investigation. So you can only patch up once.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay. So it'd be 1. Does that put you at 1 or 2?
2.
Okay. Lady Anne, I think you're down to 4. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Then yeah, investigation.
Is Greta gonna help patch twice?
Oh, she can, huh? So you're at 3, Lady Anne.
Nice.
Well, actually, I do heal 2 harm because of the.
Oh yeah, because your ability. Even better.
Feature.
Sorry, are you at 0?
No, I'm at 1.
Okay. Cool. And then you can commune.
Right. So with that, I roll Astral Sorcery.
Nice.
An 11. How many is that again?
Does that it goes off without a? Oh no, that's combat.
Yeah, it's under investigation. So it would be
2 questions.
Which investigation do you want? Interview, lore, or poke?
I get a different set of questions to ask from.
Oh.
So.
It looks like it's 2.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask first, what major events have happened here?
Okay.
Murder
so.
spree.
Yeah. That would be one of them, actually. It would be the massacre of 4 gargoyles and a warlock. But you would also get I described there being here in the halls and in the trophy room a number of shambling, soulless, like seemingly soulless people walking around. You catch glimpses and whispers of small like vignettes of them being fed on, I guess would be the word. You had a vision before when you first did that ritual outside of the was it this ritual was it commune too? Outside of the
that was a ritual I actually did.
That's right, because you needed the components. Yeah, so you caught glimpses of the person giving the instructions to Lord Montgomery and Harlock Graves of to get the components and the book. The same person, you see them approaching a number of these individuals, meaning a group of them inside the library, and feeding from them, essentially. Not like biting their neck, I mean, because, not like biting their neck and drinking from them, but standing in front of them, engaging them, like in speech, talking to them, and as they speak, all of these people's eyes glow and then dim to the point that they don't have like a light in their eyes anymore. In this like shambling kind of zombie state, and you see this person grow radiant from the energy that they've drawn from these people. And I think that's it, other than the big fight that just happened.
Okay. So I'm not sure if this second question will give me more information, and if it doesn't, then I guess I'll ask another one, but what evils are slumbering here?
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, also, I'm mistaken. There is one more thing you would get from the first one.
Okay.
You would see the same person, the one that you kind of don't ever get a top head up image of. He's like Wizard Kelly. You see them carrying a book towards the back of the library, one that is gilded and ornate and covered in gems, toward the back, and then that's it. Does anything evil?
Yeah, what evils are slumbering here?
Yeah,
Me.
yeah, Lady Anne.
Yeah, other than that.
All right.
I'll let you use another one because I think you don't get anything from that one by like a weird technicality that might make more sense later.
Okay.
But I also don't want to just take it. Yeah, so you can. Yeah.
Okay, and the other two
What
questions.
goods are slumbering here? But
If you want to ask that, I'm all right with that.
Well, I mean, if you think so, it would be, changing the wording of the questions that I'm allowed.
Yeah, I don't mind.
The other two would be super useful. Okay.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, we can like give it a little flavor too. The dreamers. The dreamers are like the elder gods, right? And you are a sleeper. Is that right?
No, the other way around. I'm a dreamer, and the evil or the eldritch things are sleepers.
Okay. So what I'm getting is that the sleepers might be agnostic. Is that right? They're like not evil or good. They're kind of too old to be held by those like
morally
constructs.
ambiguous.
That's it. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, they're morally ambiguous. So they have the capability to suss out what people would think of as evil, and then do the same with things that people would think of as good. So yeah, if you want to ask that question, it works. The sleepers can bring that information.
Okay. Then I shall ask.
Cool. You see the same book. You see the one that was being carried by this figure whose face you have not seen. This stately, well-dressed, almost imperially dressed person with flowing hair that reaches down to their chest. You see the book that they were carrying, but you see it on a pedestal. You see it behind gates that are either gilded or fully gold, and you see it on that pedestal under a spotlight, surrounded by a number of other books on shelves that are of a darker wood than the ones that are constructed elsewhere around this library.
Okay. Okay. And those are my two questions then.
Did we go till 8 o'clock for this one? Or, I mean, for break?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can, or we can take our break here if this seems like an appropriate time. That's your call.
It does.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say we can go now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we will be back in 10-ish minutes.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone. We'll be back.
Hey world, how you doing? Hope you're doing a good time. We're having a good time over here playing some Beneath a Cursed Moon. This is a game by Carius. You can find that game on itch.io. Also, you can find Carius as on Twitter and other places and all that cool stuff. Check them out. It's pretty slick stuff. This game is a lot of fun. I just like Castlevania and Bloodborne and things like that, and so I am down for any game that really allows me to play out my fantasy of being a person who sacrifices their superiors to dark and hungry gods. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Yes, I did. As always, when you're watching this channel, we like to encourage you to take the time and energy to support people who are not doing as well as you right now. There are lots of people in the world, lots of stress in the world, and lots of ways that the world kind of sucks right now. And if you can find a way to help people make it suck less, that's a good thing to do. I really, really appreciate it. It's rough out there. California and Oregon are on fire very badly right now, and we are working very much.
Central Washington is too.
Central Washington as well. Yeah, there's a lot. This is, oh boy, global warming is
last week. There was fires all around the town I just moved away from.
Wow,
2 entire towns are just gone.
Yeah, wow.
Bad.
So it is a rough time to be a person right now. And that's certainly on our minds. But additionally, there are other places that you could be donating time or resources. I'm a fan of Black Lives Matter, and they are not making as much money as they were 2 months ago, and yet things are just as urgent as it was. So please, please, please try to find a way to support people who are suffering or struggling or just working to make the world a better place. And yeah, not everyone has the money to donate, and I get that. I don't always have the money to donate. Guess what? I'm an artist. But there's still something you can do. You can find a way to donate resources, energy, time, emotional labor. Really just find a way to support people that are where you were a while ago. And try to help out. I think that's a powerful and good thing to be able to do. So I encourage you to try and do that. If you like our content, please follow our channel. Heck, if you really like our content, subscribe to our channel. We would appreciate it. It makes a difference to us. And you can check out other stuff that we do. We got shows every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. So please come check out some of those other shows as well. With all that said, I will return the microphone, metaphorically, to Marcus.
You say you sacrifice your superiors to dark forces, but like my thought is that like the dark forces are your superiors too. So like what does that imply?
Well, I think it implies that
they're sacrificable.
At some point,
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
that means that they have to be sacrificed, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Eventually, you have to supersede your bosses.
At which point, I will happily sacrifice myself for the cause.
Upward mobility in hell. That's really funny. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go back to this image, this visual of this gilded, gem-encrusted book atop a pedestal with a light shining down on it from behind golden bars. And then we will center on Moss coming out of that vision. How do you proceed?
Well, I'll just sit straight up. Like, it's not like a slow stretch, it's just like a... And look at the others. Well, I had an informative dream, I think.
Prophetic, then?
Well, it looks like there are soulless people in the trophy room that are being fed on by the same person who gave the orders to the other 2 that we've killed.
Slide aside. It's the trophy room, the library, and the halls between the 2.
Yeah, these sort of wandering, the zombie people.
Mm-hmm. So far that you've seen, yeah.
Soulless, you say? That's less useful.
Yeah, and probably a bit of a hazard for us. Seems to be a food source, though. I also saw that same person carrying a gilded book back of the library. Might be of interest.
Well, let us find this fabled book. And while we're doing that, if anyone comes across anyone who's alive and could, be sacrificed, that wouldn't be the worst thing for me at this point.
We shall see.
You all are having this conversation in the lounge area of this library. So you're a ways off from the skeleton at the front desk. But upon hearing, because he does, hearing that you're looking for someone living, you might see him glance over his scapula, I guess, his bony shoulder, at you, Lady Anne. Just for a moment.
Do you have a thought, dear?
His head will, he had already turned back, but his head will, get a little straighter, if that makes sense. He will try to look harder than he is already to look as if he weren't trying to listen in. And he doesn't respond.
Do you have a name, skeleton boy?
Skeleton man, thank you. And my name is Ramon.
Ramon. Hi.
Yes.
How are you?
He swivels around in his ancient chair to look at you. Thank you so much. God damn it. And he says, no, that ruled. I love that. And he says, I'm doing quite well. How are you?
Do you like being a librarian here?
I like it better than the alternative.
Which is?
Being dead, probably.
Yeah, he points at the ground, implying either death or hell.
I would like to point out, I imagine M is also eating an apple that just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was stuck in her fur for like a week.
We're not going to question where it's from. It's probably better for their health.
Yeah. Has someone bound you to this plane? Against your will? Or for your will? You seem happy.
That's the important part, isn't it? Bound. Yes, I'm bound here. But like I said, it's better than the alternative. And yes, somebody has bound me here, because that's how that works.
Would you like to work somewhere else, though? There could be better options. What do you want to do?
This was such a good... God damn it, Ash. This was just such a good setup. I hadn't considered that I might find something better, because this was already so much better than what I might have been.
Do you like being a librarian?
Actually, yes. The exchange of information is valuable to me.
Do you like big projects? Fixing things up, changing things around, making things work better?
You sound awfully managerial.
I am sometimes.
What are you getting at? Age. I'm at least twice your age. What are you, 60, 70?
Fair, but I can tell that you are young at heart. Well, I happen to have recently come into stewardship. I wouldn't call it ownership. It's the guilds of a rather expansive and quite potentially lovely library. It was recently walked on by a creature of some sort, and so it's a little bit of a fixer-upper. But I'm pretty sure the head librarian has been killed, and I was wondering if you might like to be offered a better job.
They haven't been killed already. They will be.
We don't kill people for no reason here, Em.
I didn't say I'd kill them, or we would kill them.
You don't?
Just said that they might be killed.
It sounds like you're offering a lateral movement. If that.
There are some perks, I'm sure, that could be arranged.
Students.
Interns.
Even if it were a better option. The more important part of this is that I'm bound here. And I can't leave unless you were to break the bond, so to speak.
Sure.
Are you bound to the building or the chair? Because we can make some arrangements.
The room.
We might be able to take the room.
It touches a bony finger to its temple. It doesn't close its eyes because it doesn't have eyelids. It touches a bony finger to its temple.
That attitude.
Yeah. And then it looks back at you. Take the room. Move the room? What are you saying?
Does it have to be the whole room? Like, what are the specifics? What's the fine print here?
I guess that's a good question. I'm bound to the room. I can only move within it. So I don't know if that means the walls themselves or the space itself. But I'm...
Easy. Swap each brick from the corners to the corners of the new place. Put a couple from the walls, put a couple from the ceiling. It might be like a Faraday cage type of deal and just hold you in. Who knows?
Theseus and all that.
I was about to say that, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's how that works. The surefire way, he looks around. He clatters over to you all. Not too close, but close enough to hear. Yeah. Yeah. You hear the sound of docking cartilage. And he says, the surefire way is to kill the Lord. But nobody's gonna do that. And then he gets back up and starts to head back, kind of ambling backwards. Especially now you three. And he goes back to his chair.
I take it you don't like working for the Lord in particular.
That.
If it went for him, I'd be in the ground in one way or another.
Sure, but it seems to me like a movement where you are not working for the Lord and not bound to, say, only one room would be a more than a lateral move to me.
Yeah, but even if I went down to the room, where am I gonna go? How do the townspeople react to skeletons where you are?
Who cares?
Like, dress you up, you know.
We can teach them to behave better.
Big.
Besides, the person who uses the library the most is just Moss here.
The skeleton looks at Moss.
I'm
Yeah, and you
very friendly and approachable. There's like an aura of gloom.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, okay, like I said, it's kind of beside the point because there's only one person who can break the bond that locks me in here, and you all can't handle him.
Why?
Actually, I should what's it called? Retcon. He would have said them, not him.
Them.
You all can't handle them.
I just thought it was worth considering. Anyway, do you know where any living people are?
He looks about the room. Moss, you had said why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he looks about the room when Lady Anne asks about the people, at the people, and says, regarding why you can't beat him, because, come on, he's fucking Dracula. What do you think you're gonna do? And with what he's got planned, no, you have no chance. You're three people with some, what did you do here with these gargoyles? And, oh, I'm gonna have to clean that up, aren't I? No, there's no chance. No way in hell or heaven or any place between.
You never know. There's more than one way to get things done.
So what does he have planned?
He laughs a hearty skeletal laugh and turns back around.
You just seem so well informed.
Well, you kind of have to be, being in his employ. But you are not in his employ, and I know better.
You know better?
Than to tell you his plans? Yes, far better.
So it's his loyalty. So he has your loyalty out of what? Respect? Fear? Just blind gratefulness?
Blind, I don't know about that. But a little bit of column A, B, and C, you know? How can you not respect the guy? He's the reason any of this is here.
Ooh, I want to check something quickly.
Please do. Oh, anybody can if you want.
I need to. Sorry, where's my darn thing? There we go. Curse playbook. No, wrong one. Hold on. Here we go. Wait.
Yeah, I'll say that's like an open lore. Even if you feel like, I feel like you've all been here long enough, which would be like a month at least, to have heard parts of the history.
Yeah, sure. I'll roll.
And get
I'll
lucky
roll.
enough. Okay, yeah, it could be anything to be clear, but lore is like open to anyone right now.
Yeah, I give a 7 on that.
Ooh, yeah.
That's one question. Let's see. Oh no, it's lore. I get also. What is this person most guilty of? Oh wait, no, that's not lore. Damn it, that's interview. Oh well.
I had to take a guess what Drax is most guilty of. Probably the fact that he's trying to summon a fucking dragon.
Yeah. Is any what ties these things together?
These things being.
I was purposely being vague to get you to give me more information.
If I had to guess, I would say, maybe not Ramon. I feel like what he's talking about is more important. So Dracula, and his mention of, nothing, like none of this, the this that he is talking about, he's referring to the kingdom, the township outside of the kingdom, and it's unclear whether or not he's talking about the Institute. You gather that Dracula is the reason that any of it is there.
Yeah.
Or that's what Ramon is, implying.
So, okay, following weird question.
Please.
I'm talking to a skeleton here. Is this skeleton Dracula's property?
Oh, that is a weird question. Really good one.
I'm gonna have 3 weird questions in a row, by the way.
Yeah. You know creatures that being part of the Institute, you know creatures of the night well enough to know that vampires have thralls. I think he is a thrall, but maybe not in the most conventional sense. Not that that's conventional, but yeah, he is bound magically to Dracula's will.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he is Dracula's property. Does that make him an animal or creature?
No, he's human.
Okay.
by the loosest definition, he is human.
Okay. This is really a stretch here. Is he precious and or irreplaceable?
He is to me. I think, yeah.
You see how precious he is?
I mean,
I love him.
He's great.
Within the game world, not outside. I like him too. I want to save Ramon's life, but he's not helping me very much. So I'm debating the sacrifice him, and I want to know if he is precious and irreplaceable.
Yeah. Oh, what was the last one? Animal or creature?
Yeah, animal or creature.
Do we think humans are creatures? Because like they are in like magic or
so
MTG magic. Yeah.
Here's what I will say. This ability does distinguish between creatures and living persons.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Gotcha on a technicality. I think he's undead.
Yeah. That seems right. So then my last thing is he something precious and irreplaceable to someone?
That makes me think of an object more than.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Damn it. Yeah. Okay, well then I'm not going to sacrifice Ramon. He's only a +2 or a +1 maybe.
He does have that's a damn shame too because he
+1. I'm not going to kill this really cool person.
Yeah, it's a shame though because he does have a soul. He's the one thing in the room. Oh, fourth thing in the room that has a soul, other than you all.
If he has a soul,
he's a soul. Does that mean he's living?
No, he's undead. He's undead and animated by a soul.
Hey Ramon, do you sleep?
Yes, but it's kind of
literally when we walked into the room, my dear.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
You're asking if he's like faking? Oh, okay. He says yes.
Are you faking being alive for us right now?
Do you have
Definitely
dreams?
not saying that.
Okay.
When you sleep?
Ooh, I'm thinking about that above game. I have dreams. They don't resemble what you think of as dreams. You have dreams, assuming you're human, because you have a brain, and it processes your life's events. I have dreams because I have a soul, and it doesn't process life events so much as it processes the world. Not the whole world, but like portions of it. They're disjointed and primal, and it's not the same thing, but kind of.
Okay, good to know.
You'll gather. So he's unwilling to share Dracula's plans for obvious reasons, but he's being open right now. If you ask him about,
convince,
you can, yeah. But he's being open right now because you're engaging him. You won't.
I have a 0, so I will not.
I mean, you still can. Oh, also, I made your character for you. I fucked it up. I gave you one more in fight than you should have, which I'm cool with. But if you want to redistribute, yeah, battle. Thank you. If you want to redistribute, that's totally fine too. Because I misinterpreted the character building stuff. But Vanish cleared it up for me. Thank you, Vanish.
Yeah. Whatever. not big on
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
So I think that it was a 3 only because of the ongoing win as a beast. You probably saw that and you're like, I should add that.
It was actually so in the character creation it tells you can add +1 somewhere, +1 somewhere else, and then +0 and +0, which didn't make sense to me at the time.
Okay. And to the remaining moves, so not to those
remaining.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. That was the thing that I slipped up on. So yeah, if you want to redistribute to convince, you can do that. Or you can leave it as
0-0, so I get 1 point somewhere else.
I will attempt to convince Ramon. I'm going to attempt to convince Ramon.
Okay.
Because the other two don't make sense.
While she's doing that, I'm just gonna whisper in M's ear, "Hey, if that doesn't work, can you just knock him out?"
M cracks a smile and just kind of looks at Moss and then looks back.
Cool.
Kind of does like a, is it worth it in their head?
Well, here we go. Gonna convince. I fail.
Okay. I also, what was the to give up Dracula's plans?
No, I was trying to convince them that like if I was literally trying to convince Ramon that if I broke the bond with Dracula, to come work as our librarian. I was thinking long term.
Okay.
I assumed that Ramon wouldn't give up Dracula's plans, and my response to that, like internally, Lady Anne's response to that was, "Oh, this is good. An employee who is loyal. I
want this.
Employees. I would love a loyal employee. That sounds great to me. I would like to say, like I was going to do a conditional, like if you become free and open to new employment, we can certainly discuss what would make a job more attractive to you because." The Institute we're rebuilding right now, so we're not financially the greatest situation, but we would like to expand potentially and bring people like you on board. I think that you could be quite useful.
He chuckles and he shakes his head, and you can hear the wind whistling through his ear canals. He laughs. You're really bold. I like that, because you think it's very funny to me that you think you have more to offer than Lord Dracula himself. I'm not doubting it entirely, but I kind of have to, don't I?
Yes, you do, and I think that's that loyalty is admirable. Oh, Greta, by the way, the headmaster put me in charge of the Institute, just so you
know. Greta has a look of disbelief on her face. For a moment.
Pokes out. She did. I saw.
With her dying breath, or?
One of them.
Basically.
Did she give you a signet?
Pull it out.
Well, I suppose I'll have to start calling you headmaster.
Oh, God. Okay, I can get used to that. It will take a little bit of time. But please, let's not... let's be real, nothing is too formal until after this crisis is averted. You agree?
That's for the best. Yes. Also, I have some ideas. I think Garrett does too. I think you'll like them.
Well, I will happily listen to both of you. And of course, Moss and M, you as well, in the planning stages as we move forward with rebuilding the Institute once the current crisis is averted. That being said, Greta, please prove your worth.
She laughs to herself. You all have not known each other a ton of time. I forget how long we've said it's been.
About a month or two.
Yeah. Prior to now being this moment, your relationship was you all were subordinated in some capacity to both her and Garrett.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, taken aback by that. But she doesn't say anything else. She just laughs. Yeah.
I'm just.
How do you all proceed from here?
And do you knock it? Do you knock Ramon out?
I will walk up to Ramon, look him in the sockets.
Important question. Where are you approaching from?
Probably, I'm probably still in the lounge, just listening to all this. So probably directly forward.
Okay, so that path is going to take you behind, like from either the side or the back of the desk.
I want to go like directly in front of the desk. Like I want to approach directly from the front of him.
Okay, so you would have to skirt around, and I don't know if you're not trying to be noticed, but he would notice you at this point.
I'm trying to be noticed.
Okay.
He doesn't care.
So he, I think, after he's done talking to you, while he turns back around to his work on his desk, and probably doesn't notice you coming around until you're like diagonal to him in relation to the front of the desk.
Okay. I'm going to. Why do we want to knock him out?
I didn't tell you. I just asked you to do it.
Oh, great. So you didn't tell Em that you're being sarcastic. Great. That's good.
I was not being sarcastic.
Oh, she's got she can manipulate someone who's dreaming abilities or something like that. You know, that's what's going on here.
Em will walk up to Ramon in the front of the desk and.
Yeah.
Are you conscious?
I'm right here. I'm talking to you. What do you mean?
That doesn't mean you're conscious. Are you conscious?
It does, doesn't it? Like, that's like asking if I'm sentient. Like, I have senses. I can hear you and see you.
It kind of does, but are you conscious? And as he starts looking down to think, I'm going to grab his hand and smack it.
Wait, you grab his hand and smack it?
Grab his head and smack it down. Like,
okay.
Because that's the only thing. I personally, like, this guy's not going to be knocked unconscious. Yeah. Em was just like, sure, I'm going to try.
Is this battle, or are you just...
I'm not trying to kill him.
Yeah.
But like,
I'll just say you do it then.
Okay. I'm trying to knock him unconscious.
Yeah, so he...
Could be a sucker move or something like that, but there isn't, you know?
Yeah.
Sucker someone.
Yeah, I'll just say you do it. Your aim is to knock him unconscious.
Knock him the fuck out.
I'm just getting that above game. That's so funny. Are you conscious? That's so fucking funny. Yeah, so you knock his head off. He starts. He jumps up in his seat. Not like out of it, but stiffens. His head falls off. His skull falls off. Clatters across the floor. And he's cursing you out as his head like rolls across the floor.
See, okay. Yeah. That establishes that you are not conscious because you cannot be knocked unconscious. I'll grab the head and put it back on the body.
You I do not like.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm sorry. It wasn't my idea.
Comes into our library, just for future reference.
They're dusty.
Am I conscious? He's like dusting his bones off his rib cage.
I'll resettle his head and dust him off too.
You? How well do you do in battle usually?
I don't. I think that's the answer.
Does he have any organs or anything? Like, could I smell them on him?
No. If anything, you'll smell like old cartilage and bone.
That's what I figured.
Yes. So I was gonna...
You guys are terrible right now.
So I was gonna do astral sorcery, but I rolled a 6.
Oh.
Alright, bring it on to him. Bring it on to him.
This is why I need someone to sacrifice. If I have someone to sacrifice, I have some hole I can bump you up. But no. Okay. Sorry.
Is that 2 drawbacks? Is that right?
Failure? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's literally it's a failure, right?
Yes, your spell fails and no drawback is suffered.
Oh, that's good. So M doesn't get lightning striked.
What were you trying to do?
Knock him out, put him to sleep. If granted, if he would be defeated by 5 harm total.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you had succeeded, you would have. Is it visible? Like, does this? Oh, does it kill him? Or no? It's if he would die
No,
from. Okay.
I could have killed him.
Oh, easily. Yeah, yeah, yeah. With one hit.
My librarian, I like him.
With half a hit.
M had no intention of murdering.
Just
now
saying.
I'm curious if you can do non-lethal damage.
Maybe, yeah.
I highly doubt that non-lethal damage is an important factor in a game about slaying monsters.
Moss, does this spell have, like visible components, like somatic, verbal?
I mean, none of the spells do, but I imagine
just
for
flavor-wise.
this,
yeah.
I imagine for this spell it'd probably be a series of chanting and some glowing eyes. So there'd be something noticeably happening, but no effect.
Yeah.
Can I narrate here? If there's feel free to tell me that I'm overstepping if you want. But I think that I think I want to stop her.
Oh yeah. It fails because you're like not now.
Yeah, I think I actually walk up and just grab your hand and say, "Moss, dear, I don't want to push it."
Well, okay. I could have. Never mind. If the opportunity comes, it comes, I guess.
Yes, of course. It will when it does, and it does when it will. Shall we look for this tome? This book that you say you dreamed of?
Yeah.
What about it, Ramon? Can you help us find a what did you say, jewel-encrusted tome of what?
Gilded and jewel-encrusted.
How many of those do you happen here, Ramon?
He has been facing forward since having his head knocked off his block.
Emma's walked several feet away and is hands up, genuinely sorry.
He responds without turning around. How many do you think? Gilded, gem encrusted.
This is Dracula's house, so at least 30?
That's a fair point. No, we have one.
Excellent. Where is it?
He breathes. You don't know how. He does not have lungs. He inhales and
There's an
exhales.
expulsion of air.
Yeah, somehow. At the back, behind the gate.
That gate isn't a private study, is it?
No, it's barred. It's not like you can't see through it.
Is there a key necessary?
If there is, you should probably give it to us now so I don't destroy the doors.
Oh, you couldn't. But also, no, I will not give you the keys.
Can I attempt to convince?
Yeah, please. As you are, he's it's kind of the whole point that if you want to get back there, you kind of have to get the keys yourself, if that makes sense.
So it's, you find what you need, but it's not quite what you had wanted, or will take some time until it's ready?
Oh, that confuses me a little bit. You find what you need in...
Wait, no, sorry, I was looking at the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
You have to give them something to do it, but they might talk around about you in an inconvenient way or offer to help, but run as soon as things get dangerous. I am trying to get him to do stuff free, to an extent.
Yeah, it's either or, right? You either have to give them something, or he's going to split when things get hairy.
Yeah. These are all possible options. All three of these are.
Oh, okay, I thought you said two. Okay,
They might talk around about you in an inconvenient way. Right now, it'd be maybe he tells Drac, hey, you got guys coming.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Sorry, I'm trying to decide. I also don't know what a skeleton wants. He's kind of got everything he needs here. Or his setup is nice enough that he doesn't deign to want more.
Wants me to fuck off. Probably.
Kind of. Actually, yeah. That's perfect, actually. So how are you trying to convince him? What's the line you're feeding him?
The line I had just said earlier about like it's probably better if you give it to me because then I won't destroy things.
Oh yeah. You won't be able to destroy those gates. But I do want you not in this vicinity, like near me.
That's fair.
But I will tell you that the keys are not keys; they are books, and you need to find them. You also need to know what to look for. Like if you don't know what you're looking for, you're probably not supposed to.
It's like we put books in the bars. There's like little side things. There's like we grab a book, we read some of the squigglies in it, and stuff happens. Like how does it work?
Uh, he looks at you. Keeps
Listen, I'm
looking
not
at
very
you.
smart.
Upon you were saying that, turns back around and says, "You will figure it out, I think, if you just take a look at the space back there."
And we'll like try to make it sound like she's running towards him for a second, and then just runs the other way.
He buys it. He like turns in his chair abruptly and like starts to get up out of it to like try to jump over his desk, and then groans again, inexplicably. No lungs, no throat.
Running away and says sorry
Where you going?
towards the back.
You get there. You see, you see what Moss saw in her vision, in their vision. Um, you see a gilded gate, or what would appear to be gilded or golden, a gate. Um, it is in the style of like wrought iron gates, where it's spiky at the top, yeah, and ornate.
Does
And
it smell like actual gold, or does it smell like it's gilded?
oh, that's a good question. Does gold have an aroma to it?
I kind of. I mean, there's a difference. It's slightly different metallic smells.
Yeah, where
It's
like iron smells like blood, or
you
vice
can
versa,
smell like
I guess.
you can smell like the with iron. You can usually smell like the dust and like the carbon in it, whereas gold doesn't have that, so it smells a bit more like clean.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, it does. It smells real.
It
And
smells
if
like
you
full
were
gold.
to, yeah, if you were to, oh, actually no, yeah, it does smell like real gold.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll call the other two over,
Going on over.
assuming they aren't already over here, which would be kind of funny.
You turn around and they're there. Yeah, you both see the same thing, a gate, uh, uh, with spiky spires on top. Moss, you recognize it immediately. It's the gate that you saw in your vision. A slight addition to what you saw before, there are 3 pedestals in front of it.
Okay.
Oh, and a book. The arguably the most important part. A book on a pedestal. It's gold, jewel
On the other
encrusted.
side of the gate, or before?
On the other side of the gate.
Other side. Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 pedestals need the 3 things that we need, which I've forgotten. Conjure.
Divine, conjure, and souls.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Do we look around for materials that are divine? And does anyone have any materials that are divine or something that is divine?
Oh, we might need Ramon's head because he has a soul.
I was gonna say, perhaps.
Did I might have thought I said this and didn't. Ramon. Oh, Ramon said keys, right? Did he say anything else about them?
He said it was books.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're books.
All right.
He did tell me that, and M will respect his wishes and not go near him again.
Oh.
So she'll just stand by the gate.
Perfect. If we do hire him, we'll be able to keep M out of the library, which is like one of my high priorities.
Maybe she wants to learn how to read. No, not at all.
No, she doesn't.
No,
I don't
she
care. I want everyone to learn how to read, but I don't care about him. Reading.
Rude.
Yeah, so we have got the 2 masks that aren't puzzles because they're books, right? The answers are books.
Yeah. You have 1 mask. You didn't pick up the other one.
Oh, I didn't.
Nobody did.
Montgomery's mask. We didn't pick that one up.
No, that's
You picked up Montgomery's. Yeah.
Oh, we
You didn't pick up Harlock's.
Harlock's.
Oh,
Well, nobody said they did. Yeah, I'm fine with you retconning and saying somebody did, but
I thought I thought it did.
M can run back and grab it.
It does have like a gelatinous monster coming out of it right now.
We killed that thing.
That's true, but
Yeah.
there's still,
Very hard.
there's remnants of the fight. I look at the mask. I haven't really spent any time looking at this mask. I just want to take a look at it.
It's a death mask of high quality. You can see down to the eyebrows of this person, to the individual hairs of their eyebrows. Their eyes are closed, as they would be with a death mask. Their lips are closed. Yeah. Otherwise, it's unremarkable as much as something like that can be.
Does it fit if I put it over my face?
In a sense, yeah. It's their face was larger than yours. By
Right.
that, yeah.
It doesn't eat my face or anything like that, right?
It attaches and you turn into Jim Carrey's iconic character, the mask.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, nothing happens.
Okay, cool.
Is there anything noticeable about the pedestals where we have to put the books? Are there any like symbols or anything on them?
No, they look like plain pedestals other than the fact that the top of them are not solid. There seems to be a pressure plate. There's pressure plates on top of each one of them.
Okay.
Ramon, what books do we need to open this gate?
Like I said, if you don't know, you're probably not supposed to.
Are you sure, Lydian? Are you sure you don't want me to put him to sleep and then I can just make him open the gate for us?
You can do that?
If I can control my magic, yes, it is a gamble, but it's possible.
As long as nothing hits, yeah, M will hide behind a pedestal.
I really wish I had something to kill. All right.
Or we could try, and instead of making him open the gate, I can ask him to tell us what.
No. Opening the gate is more important. Opening the gate is more important.
Can M smell a rat or any like small rodents around?
In Dracula's house?
Hmm?
Oh, actually...
No, I'm literally smelling like a rat.
Not metaphorical.
Like a literal rat.
That's funny.
No.
Okay.
Not here. Not anywhere nearby.
There was a rat here 37 days ago, but, you know. It's a bit well past.
So what's the move?
Sure, Moss. Why don't you try?
Okay. So, I don't think... Let me see if this spell is ranged or not. It's not. So I'm just gonna walk right up to him and kind of just put my head in my hands and begin chanting again.
Right up to him, meaning right up to Ramon, like his front?
Yeah, right up to Ramon.
Yeah. He notices you as you come up, and sees you holding your head.
That I do suffer a drawback, but...
Oh, but you succeed. Okay. Is it a combat sorcery or?
It is. Yeah. It's
okay.
considered combat sorcery.
So he sees you put your hand in your head, and he's like, "Oh, whoa, are you all right?" And then he hears you chanting, and he's like, "Oh, no, and like starts to get up, and then your spell resolves.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't work for us now.
I thought it would be cool to have a skeleton librarian. I have to give Vlad some credit there. That's a great idea.
Well, he won't like me and he won't like M, but he doesn't have anything against you.
That's true. I could make a show of firing you two.
Yeah.
Secretly. And then not actually do it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I'm not sure which... I think suffer one harm makes the most sense, because the other ones kind of depend on... like, you take -1 to all resist dark magic until the fight ends, like, you're not really in a fight. target a creature you didn't want to. I'm like, we've used that so much.
Out again.
Yeah. Put yourself in a bad position. Yeah, same thing. Like that kind of depends more on us being in a fight. So yeah, you take one harm. Yeah.
Or the bad position is Ramon is less likely to take the job than he already is.
He's pretty. It's hard to get lower than he already is in terms of esteem for this hypothetical job. Yeah. So you'll take one harm. The question is how. I don't think Ramon like tries to deck you or anything, but I think it makes sense for
brain aneurysm.
I mean, not that, but like contacting the sleepers is taxing enough that it harms you, whether it be like psychic damage or physical damage that happens to be located in your noggin. Yeah, it's taken its toll. So yeah,
noggin is such a fun word,
isn't it? Yeah, so suffer one harm, but you succeed. Whatever you're trying to do. Is he just asleep now?
Yeah, it's just putting him to sleep.
Yeah, okay, so as he's getting up, going like, oh, no, I know what you're doing, he conks out in his chair. He doesn't fall out of it, but he's sitting in it, reclined, in much the same position you all had found him before, when you first entered.
Nice. Now let's see if this works. So I'm gonna have to roll Astral Sorcery again.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, nice. So, on a 7 to 12, you can implant an idea in their mind that they'll carry out until they're an obvious great risk. And that idea is I would like him to open the gate for us.
Okay. He gets up. You get the sense that he is still asleep. It's not obvious, but he isn't engaging you in the way a waking person does. And he starts going down the aisles of this library, going to different shelves and pulling books. I assume somebody's following him?
Not M.
Still
following wishes even though he's not awake.
How kind. That's real. That sounded really sarcastic. I meant that sincerely.
M is a kind person, except for the fact that she kills real good.
It's just been like evil stuff so far.
I'm a fan of M.
Me too.
I also enjoy M.
So he's pulling.
Lady Ann's perspective. Lady Ann likes M quite a lot. She just also likes sarcastic with it.
So he's pulling these books, and you see them as he pulls them out. The first is called The Roots of the Divine and Infernal. He moves to a different part of the library, a bit of a ways off, and pulls another one. As he pulls it, you see the name is Treatises on Mass Conjuration. And then he goes about the same distance in another direction, and pulls a third book, and its title is Souls as Capital. And then he heads over to the pedestals and starts lining them up on top of them. The pressure plates are roughly the same size as each one of the books, and he puts them on accordingly. I just backed out of the roll 20. Yeah, he puts them on the pedestals accordingly. They depress ever so slightly, and the gate opens. And I think he wakes up. Thank you for... Oh, you I don't like either. Your friends here, he turns to Lady Anne, your friends here are not making a good case for me being wherever it is that you want me to go.
We're not friends, if that helps. We're not friends.
Oh, just co-workers. That's all that matters.
Not technically employees.
Oh. And he turns around and goes back to his desk.
You know, I could set it up, Ramon, if you were interested, that I could arrange it that they were working for you, and you could have them stack books to your heart consent, or whatever, or that you feel you want to instill upon them, and we could punish them for failing to do their work for you.
You say this all into his...
Putting things away.
You say all of this into his back as he continues walking away, and grumbling, cursing.
We lost this fight a long time ago. We've had no chance for a long time, if we ever did.
Yeah.
But the gates open. They slide open, and you all feel... I think Moss and Lady Anne, you would get this more like intuitively, but you feel like a depressurization, so to speak. You feel the sensation of a spell, like an abjuration kind of spell, dissipating. So it wasn't just a gate; it was magically locked as well, and these books have opened it fully. And the gilded, gem-encrusted book is before you.
I don't want to lose those books, but just in case the gate closes once they're removed, let's walk in.
M is already in there the second they open, just so she's not near Ramon.
So this section, as I described in Moss's vision, this section of the library is slightly different in design. The books are of a darker, older wood. Oh no, sorry, the shelves are of a darker, older wood, and the books are far, far older. And they otherwise are rather unremarkable. But the one in the center is, it looks brand spanking new. It's not. I think any of you, if you examined it, would know that it's not. But it looks sterling, perfect, clean, etc.
Yeah. Let's see. Sunrise. Wayward spirit to rest.
Also, did we decide if somebody went back to get the other mask, or if we're just gonna retcon
Yeah,
and say something?
and I think M ran back to get it.
Okay. Moss, were you saying that you had picked it up? Because I thought you had picked up the book. I didn't remember anyone saying that they got the mask.
I picked up his skull, but I didn't pick up
Yeah.
the mask.
Okay. So you're gonna go back for it, Em?
Yes.
Okay.
If no one picked it up, yeah.
You do that now?
I'll say I'm doing it when
Or
Ramona's asleep. Yeah.
Oh, so like when he was looking for the books?
Yeah, when he had started looking and would have gone.
You find it. It is it's a death mask like the other. Did you look at the other one?
I don't think M really looks at details like that.
Okay. Yeah, so you grab it and you safely return. No problemo.
And again, keeping distance from Ramon.
You skirt around his desk.
If he's there, yes.
Yeah, he is.
This is obviously the forbidden section of the library.
Mm-hmm.
Any cool rituals here or spells that we could grab that we might want?
Totally. Yes. Whatever you want.
Cool. I would like the put a wayward spirit to rest necromancy ritual for my friend over here who needs necromancy rituals to cast necromancy rituals. I would like the keep undead from entering an area until the next sunrise necromancy ritual for my friend over here who can do necromancy rituals with.
I already have access to those, I think.
So my understanding is that when you have all the astral sorceries and astral rituals. You took necromancy. That means you have the necromancy sorceries, but the necromancy rituals. My understanding is that you need copies of them for it to work. But sorry, that's my understanding based on the way mine works.
Mine says you can produce a ritual sorcery spell without the help of any scroll or outside source.
Yeah, interesting. Mine says that for my infernal spells, but then says if I take let's see.
But I could only do that once, like per adventure, so it's not like.
Well, then I'm going to grab them all anyway. I'm going to grab all the necromancy sorceries.
Yeah.
Rituals, just in case we get to a situation where we need to cast more than one of them.
Yeah, you do. There's also counterparts, just for flavor. There's also counterparts to each of those that have you know how some spells in other fantasy role-playing games would seem as though they're like healing and like clerical, etc. kinds of magic, but they're necromantic. There's a lot of those as well. They are focused on healing, and they're focusing on the distribution of like living energy, I guess. But they are necromantic, just framed as being like holy and good.
Yes, of course. We've got this cool theme here of like this person who like has these devout believers in holiness that are actually necromantic. Yeah, so we'll grab those as well. Okay. And then I'm just gonna go up to the book.
Yeah. Also, you last episode you had been looking for something, and I said you probably didn't have access to it because it wasn't strictly infernal. It was more divine. Do you remember what that was by chance?
Yeah, binding of spirits and souls and things like that.
Yeah, you find something along those lines.
Awesome.
Mhm.
I want to be able to bind demons and by extension bind divine things that think they are divine even though they are actually demons. Sounds cool. I'll take
Awesome.
it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So what's in this book?
You open the main book, the gold encrusted.
We're in a rush here. We gotta,
Yeah.
Apocalypse to avert.
So there is no modern by these standards written language inside of this book. There are scrawlings that look or that you would recognize as being of the they'd be like Enochian essentially like they'd be like the angel the fabled like language of angels mixed in with things that resemble the infernal language, whatever that might be in this world. They're intermixed in such a way that you would think both were derived from the language that's here, but they could be recognized as either. There are symbols depicting ritualistic processes. There are detailings of necessary components for some nondescript, or depending on how far in you go, nondescript ritual. It's a ritual tome essentially. You all need scrolls for rituals. This is like Rituals XL. Like it needs a whole book.
Yeah. So this is the ritual for summoning the massive creature.
Mm-hmm. It's conjuration on a level that would allow someone to summon either a great many things or something very large. Not necessarily in size, but in power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Now that we have this book, does that mean that we have like the counterspell ways of like reversing the effect of conjuring something like this? Or you're saying we needed that to do this, I think, but it's been a week.
It remains to be seen, actually. Like you have the binding spell, but it's a scroll. Like you found the scrolls that you needed, but you don't know if it matches up. Like if it's sufficient, I think might be the right word. Does that answer your question? I don't know if I
It does answer my question.
Was there a part of it that I neglected to answer? Because I don't remember every part of it that you asked.
No. Or if there was, I don't remember.
Okay.
I was just sort of poking around fishing for things, you know?
As one does, yeah.
Okay.
At this point,
we have the
M comes back and has the mask. The other mask.
Hands it to Anne.
I compare the two masks.
They're different people.
Do they appear in any way related? Were they made at the same time? Are there material like similarities between them?
No, they were made by the same process, but they were made at vastly different times. One looks one in its age, like of the material itself, looks different. You can't tell by how much, but it is like by a degree of time, so you can tell one is older. And you could probably guess which one. It doesn't matter a ton about game. But also the age of the countenance of the person depicted in the mask is different too. Like one doesn't appear younger in age, but you know how if you look at like the common person of any different era, they kind of look different. It's kind of like that.
So one appears to be older?
One appears to be this isn't exact, but if like a direct comparison, or a comparable like comparison, I guess, would be like one looks like they're Elizabethan, like an Elizabethan adult, and the other looks Victorian or something along those lines. Yeah, it's not like one is a caveman and the other is, yeah, it's.
I mean, like physically older, as in the mask was created further along.
Yeah, these two, no, they appear to be of a similar age, if not the same age.
Okay.
I'm not seeing it.
M is illiterate, so can't be useful in this situation.
That's fair.
Above game, I don't know what you're referring to.
Unless the one thing is like M can actually read it as Infernal. That'd be funny.
That would be hilarious. I think I guess I'd look for the binding ritual in here and look for any like materials that I would need. Then I'll go back to the material room and grab them as best I can if there's anything there that might help for binding.
Oh, for the binding ritual scroll that you found? Yeah, that has its own rules, right?
Probably.
Well, you know.
I think it's 2.
Roll ritual sorcery, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I think you choose 2. Or you roll and then choose, is that right?
Sorry, I do what?
I'm just looking at the ritual sorcery rules.
Hmm.
Oh, so it's at least 2 requirements. It's variable, or I'll say it's variable. Like you know the base components you need for this spell to cast it at the level that the scroll describes. But you're knowledgeable enough in magic that you also know it can be upscaled, so to speak, upcast, so to speak.
Okay.
So you can choose anywhere from 2 to 5 requirements. You can try to meet those requirements or not, and it will determine how far you can upcast the spell.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool.
That's not in the book. I'm saying like
yeah. I
okay,
know. I see what you're saying, and I'm saying that's cool. That was Marcus being cool.
Thank you. So yeah, do you want to try to go for 5?
Let's see. Help. Well, I've got help here. Blood. I'm happy to give blood. Specific time or place, sure. Or unholy sight, okay, yeah, no problem. Making it more complicated. I'm dubious about that unless I find a sacrifice. And you require expensive or rare components, which you'll have to find. Yeah, I mean, I imagine that Lady Anne, would know what are expensive and rare components.
Mm-hmm. And you essentially have a room full of components across the...
That was my thought. So I'm just going to go grab the most expensive and rare components I can find that apply.
Yeah, I'll leave this up to everyone, because I don't trust myself to choose what would be appropriate in a reasonable amount of time. What components do you think you need? Like what says binding in its nature?
A vine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it. Let's make it a little bit more specific than just like a bind.
Vine, like
yeah,
a blood wine vine or like a grapevine.
Ooh, I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's very gothic.
Oh
yeah.
Probably some like rust to signify iron bars or something.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, I can see that. I want. Let's see.
So, like an old desiccated vine and a rusted over little hunk of iron ore. Anything else?
I think there should probably be 5 ingredients total. So
I like that.
It can be, yeah.
Maybe a bit of mud.
Ooh, like quicksand or something?
Yeah, something like sticky.
How about something like really creepy and literal, like the hand of a town guard?
Ooh. That I like that, but it might be a little bit harder to find than just in the trophy room.
Well,
but not impossible to find here.
Spend an hour or 2. Come back. Don't ask questions.
I never ask questions.
Fair.
Yeah.
So we have
wrought iron, some old rusty iron, a vine.
Maybe. Oh, it's a binding spell. Maybe an effigy that we put the stuff through.
Yeah.
Oh, like a thing to be bound.
Yeah, like metaphor. Like we use the magic to physically. We use these components to physically bind something, an effigy of whatever we're trying to target, and then that magically binds the thing that we are trying to target.
Okay. That also lends itself to you needing something that describes the thing that you're trying to bind in some way.
So a bone of some sort.
Yeah, that's cool.
If we're trying to get
a blessed bone, if we're trying to do a divine thing.
The Saint's Bone, yeah.
Bone of the Saint.
I would say like twine or metal wire as well to like wrap everything with.
Yep.
I like it.
And the wrought iron could also represent chains or manacles or any number of like
rusted
binding
iron from a
devices.
chain. Rusted iron from a train. I love that.
A train? Damn, I think that's a little bit too futuristic for us.
Yeah.
I'm running a Western game tomorrow.
Well, I could send you that playlist list.
Please do. I won't object.
Was it the fantasy one?
No, it's the Western one.
Was it the Western fantasy one?
I have a Western playlist.
That's awesome.
Several, 10 of them.
10 of them?
I have 10 playlists for Westerns.
Oh my god.
Actually, I think total 10, or is it? I'm kind of crazy. Yeah, so I have 10. I've got 8 ambients and 2 different combats. I got a shootout and like an actual like heavy combat.
Oh man, I can't wait till we play a Western here because I need to hear those.
We're probably gonna play Dogs in the Vineyard at some point. So
Oh yeah.
not yet though, obviously. Okay, great. Well, we go and grab as many of those materials as we can.
Okay, so you have the help, you have the materials. I assume you have the blood.
I'm willing to spend the blood.
Go for
it.
The time or place. I it's not going to be like full moon or etc. etc. In Unholy Site, I think is more appropriate.
We're in Dracula's castle, so that's a dub.
So this dichotomy of like infernal and divine is I'm trying to depict it as being not one and the same, but 2 sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
Dracula's castle is the opposite side of that coin.
Yeah.
So it's the space in itself isn't unholy, but Lady Anne, you can make a space unholy.
Yeah.
I think you know how. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I feel pretty good about that. I want to head to the staircase and head up. But on the way, again, I want to just, well, first of all, say, thanks for all your help, Ramon. I'm sorry about my, people. They'll be better in the future.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. He groans and, like, waves his hand at you.
And we leave and head back to the long hallway, probably heading to the staircase.
Em will take a flower from the trophy room, if she can find one, and give it to Ramon when she leaves.
Yeah, you can find one. I think it's probably, like, a specimen more than it is, like, a live, like, kept flower.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Like an old rose or something.
So you leave, like, a desiccated old rose in front of him.
Something nice.
He doesn't say anything, and you don't see him do anything with it. But we'll cut back to him after you all leave, and he will like pick it up for a moment and examine it, and then we will cut away back to you all.
Aww.
At the staircase, I think. Is that right? Is that true?
That's where I was headed.
What is everyone's current harm?
That's a good question.
I'm down, but really what I need is I need someone to sacrifice. So, is there anyone besides
Greta?
4 of us around?
The people with souls that are diminished. I said they were soulless. I think it's more accurate to say that their souls have been partially sapped away. And then there's a bunch of people outside, screaming in terror at the monstrosity, the gargantuan monstrosity that is tearing apart their town, their kingdom, and their township.
M can go fetch someone, but given her backstory, probably is not okay with this.
Victims are unwilling, unless they are, evil. This sort of thing, it will help immensely, of course. It'll be a significant boon to us, particularly as we're doing some rituals that are very powerful and require my absolute focus. Does anyone want to volunteer? I look at Greta.
A sacrifice? Is that what you're implying?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm implying.
Well, hold on, Lady Anne. I'm your subordinate. I'm not expendable. It worries me that you think subordinates are.
My dear.
Okay, what does this entail exactly?
You're...
My life?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Why would I?
Moss, you? M? No? Great. Fine. I just thought I'd check.
M just kind of gives you a look and a like.
I was not talking to either Moss or M. That was so cursory. I like them. One bit.
How can you even suggest it? M's just looking in your direction.
Yeah.
Like, I have a question. I have a question actually. For M. This will seem tangential, but it's related. How much time did you spend before all this? How much time did you spend in town?
Maybe a couple weeks. Like M is the least experienced in this town. Hasn't been here long.
But you don't like carouse or like go to do stuff in town that's like social, or anything. Actually,
she probably goes to a bar. Like she goes to bars for sure. That's kind of her thing, and like has probably gone to a tailor and like a couple of people. Like she's been around town, but it's not like she's going out to like go date people. It's like she's going out to forget things.
And you're not going to. Sorry, go ahead.
Like she's going out to just like pick up the groceries, get new clothes, that sort of thing. And like she's not a social person really.
Is it fair to say that more often than not you're not going to like upscale places?
God no.
Okay.
She intentionally goes to like really shitty kind of seedy places.
Perfect. Lady Anne is looking for a sacrifice. A few people come to mind for you. Not people specifically, but a few kinds of people. There are people in town that are evil. They're human. They aren't monsters. They aren't like vampires or werewolves. But they're bad people. Their existence comes at the expense of the well-being of others.
How long does it take to get back up to the castle?
From where you might find someone?
Yeah.
Maybe an hour at most.
See, so Emil mentioned this. It'll take an hour to go to town and grab someone. Like back and forth, it's an hour, or
back and
each
forth.
way. Okay. It'll take an hour to get someone. Do we have that kind of time right now?
Lady Anne and Moss, you know that without having encountered Dracula yet, you have put thrown a wrench into his plans. In that you've killed both of his errand people.
Yes, and both of them, unfortunately, very inconveniently fought back, and so I could not perform my sacrifice upon them in a convenient time. Okay, it doesn't have to be a person, I guess.
Start sniffing for a rat or some animal.
Of course it is. No,
Would you tell M that a person is the most valuable, though, in terms of spiritual, like, capital?
Yeah, I mean, I think M knows. What about, does anyone have something irreplaceable, something precious?
M will pull out, this is going to sound ironic, and it hasn't been mentioned before, but M actually wears a necklace of a silvered cross. We'll pull it off and look at it for a second, hand it to you. Because she is a moon's child, she is not affected by silver quite as bad.
Have you said what significance it
has? She doesn't say it out loud. She just hands it, but it is from her father, who died when she was little.
Not her pack leader, her actual father.
Her actual blood father, who died in front of her, and his last action was giving her the cross.
Okay.
To protect her from the wolves that ended up infecting her.
Oh, fuck. That's great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You're never going to see this again.
Well, if we don't do this, I might never see it again anyway.
I think Lady Anne is curious about this. Would you allow me to use my interview move on you?
You can certainly try.
If that's okay.
You can certainly try.
Okay. Interview. Here it is. 11.
Okay. So, what are the questions are you gonna ask?
Yeah, what are the questions I'm gonna ask? Well,
or we could just say you ask the questions and I tell you that information.
Yeah.
We can hand wave it.
Really, what I want to know is my bonus question, which is, what do you feel most guilty of?
Within specific regard to this, or in general?
Nope, just in general.
Not even going for a question about the necklace yet.
Nope.
Yeah, we used 2 of them and explained the information that I just said out of game. I think she regrets the party on her 20th birthday the most. And how specific does that get?
So let's see. Mechanically speaking, so this is literal dark magic.
Yes.
So I gain the ability to prey upon your guilt.
Okay.
So like I have to know what you feel guilty about enough to be able to draw that out.
So you see flashes of M as a wolf running with 30, 40 other wolves in the middle of the night, full moon, and you can feel M is very happy at this time. It flashes later to a small shack in the woods where a man opens the door to see a pack of wolves and desperately tries to grab a crossbow as they all start tearing in, and you see some horrible imagery. And you get the very heavily you get the sense that M is horrified by the fact that she was unable to do anything. You see her run away. That's it.
I put a hand on M's shoulder.
She just kind of nods.
I promise you, we may mock in a friendly manner, but we are a better pack.
Em looks at you and smiles. I know. Why else would I be still running around with you chuckle fucks?
I reach down and pull out my ritual dagger, and I slit my palm, and I drop blood in a circle. And I sit down kneeling, my dress sort of underneath my knees, and a little bit rumpled and dirtier than I'd like. I'd like to present a good look to the world, but I'm not. And I straighten my bun, I fix my hair, and I hold M's cross in my hand, and I stick my thumb on it with my other hand, pressing down and squeezing and release some of the infernal fire inside of me and melt this cross so that it becomes liquid, and then pour it onto M's back, scarring her a little.
No more than she's already scarred. Em is definitely looking away the whole time.
And I would like to roll my sacrifice move.
Please do, yeah. One small point of order. The blood that you sacrifice, you suffer 1 harm from it, and it can't be healed until the adventure is over. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Can I get a +1 in my roll because I sacrificed my own blood?
Yeah, but the 5th requirement is that you take -1 forward.
Okay.
So you could take it and not take the 5th requirement if you want.
No, I'll just roll my standard sacrifice.
Okay.
Oh, not great. Oh well, I'll take it. Okay, so that is 2 hold with my abilities. So I've got that's okay. Whatever. I will make do. Works for me.
Okay. Why doesn't this wound heal? Or why doesn't the harm heal? Why don't you get that little bit of harm back?
Yeah. I think that my patron, where I draw my power from, is unhappy that my last 2 sacrifices have been essentially willing. They're significant enough to get me what I need, and the headmaster was good because the headmaster was like someone that probably my patron didn't like very much, So that was helpful. But I think the fact that like I'm going out of my way to find willing sacrifices, even if it is significant and important, even if I am destroying crosses, even if I am killing people, it's something that my patron doesn't like, and so my wounds necrotize rather than scar.
A bit of a punishment from your patron. Yeah, that's awesome. Regarding the headmaster, just establishing this now, I guess. They or she was someone that maybe your patron knew of, and had built enough of a reputation for herself that she posed a problem. Like if she had gone on any longer, she might have posed a threat even to your patron. And then regarding the sacrifices being too willing, I guess it might be the case that the life force itself is the currency, but a component of it that your patron desires is the suffering too, and those haven't been present, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, I think that M is suffering a little, but it's not enough for my patron.
Yeah.
I think I actually specifically poured the melted silver on M so that she would feel the burn a little bit more, and to appease her patron a little bit more.
It doesn't affect as much as you'd hope.
Yeah.
So you have 2 hold now? Is that what the result was? Okay. Cool. So those markings signifying that you have gained some sacrificial power appear on your skin, wherever you want them to. I just that's what happens, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I get like scarification and tattoos sort of around my body, mostly under my clothes, but now I have like gashes in my stomach from gargoyle claws, and they're largely healed up, but the clothing is rather ripped, and so you can see it through the ripped parts of the clothing. There's like one of my sleeves is half ripped off, and the middle of the dress is cut open.
I'm so sorry. The five requirements thing, that was for potentially upcasting the binding spell. You're doing a sacrifice. That was something else entirely, right?
No, I just need magic.
Okay, yeah. You would have had that +1 forward. So what would it have been?
It would have been a 9.
Is that better?
No.
In terms of
10 is the number. 10's the number.
Oh shucks. Okay. So yeah, what's the move? How do you all proceed?
Yeah. Shall we head up the stairs?
Okay. You ascend up the staircase. It is as ornate as the rest of the house is, or castle, I guess, palace. The first thing you see coming up is the top of the inside of a dome, over. Well, you don't see that part yet, but over the area that lays beyond the staircase. Across from whatever room you're entering as you ascend, you see a portrait above the opposite wall. And you all see something different. I don't think you know that, but you see individual interpretations of the person, of the subject of the painting. Moss, you recognize the flowing hair from the visions that you've seen in the past of the person giving instructions to Lord Montgomery and Harlock Graves, of the same person that you saw carrying the book that you now have to the back of the library. You see their flowing hair. You see their ornate clothes. You, for the first time, see their face, but the details are not fuzzy, they're defined, but they change. And everybody else sees the same thing. At one moment, Moss may be seeing someone with, I think consistently Moss sees someone with black hair, and it's the same hair that you saw in your visions. But you may see someone different. Lady Anne, you do see someone different. But I don't think it's apparent. I think you all just see the same person. As you proceed further up the stairs, you see a ballroom. It is surrounded by windows on either side, except for the side on the staircase, and then the opposite side as well. So on the east and west sides, there are windows that allow an amount of light in through them, past silken curtains that don't cover them completely. So yeah, there's just a slight amount of light coming through, illuminating parts of the ballroom floor. And across the ballroom, there are more pedestals, 5. But these are slightly different in design. They are as far as the parts that are like not the top, the bottoms, the side, and God, I don't even know if those parts have a name, but the long parts of the pedestals are more or less the same as the other ones that you've seen in the palace. But the tops have, well, 2 of them have nondescript, totally smooth face shapes, not faces, but like ovoid shapes on top of them. And 3 others have masks that resemble the ones that you found elsewhere in the palace. And the ballroom is empty. There are none of the shambling, slightly soulless people walking around.
So there's a person at the end, or is it like a figure? That was quite
a painting.
Okay.
Yeah, above the there's doors on the opposite side as well, and there's a painting above that door. You would see the painting first as you ascend the stairs, and then the rest of the room. Yeah.
Okay. I must have like spaced off for a quarter of a second and missed that part.
No, you're good. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Do those pedestals look like they can fit the death masks?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly.
I think
the question is, do we want to? Is this helping the ritual or hurting it?
You're the one that know. I'm certainly not.
You're useful in your own ways.
I'm useful in many ways, but when it comes to knowing things, nope.
Well, let us proceed. And we walk across. Or I walk across.
Minor detail. What kind of shoes do you wear, Lady Anne?
The highest of heels. 18-inch platforms.
Is that true?
Oh,
I'm sure that I have worn that, but I think that at this point I'm wearing what am I wearing? I don't even know. It's definitely not heels though. It's something comfortable.
Flats.
Yeah, it might even be slippers. You know,
like Oxford
bunny slippers and pajamas this entire time.
No, but like 18th century like cloth slipper type things, flats basically.
Okay. So you proceed across the ballroom first. We hear the muffled sound of your footsteps echo back and forth across it. Does anyone follow?
Will.
We hear the same thing. Slightly heavier footsteps, I assume.
M is wearing like heavy boots that are kind of old and crusty and have mud and a little bit of everywhere.
You're not barefoot? Okay, fair enough.
Oh yeah, so we hear the clump of M's boots as they proceed across, and we see little specks of dirt falling off onto the impeccable ballroom floor, polished.
Oh yeah, no, that's everywhere. You can find where M is, just basically the dirt trail.
The dirt trail.
It makes it amazing that your whatever hasn't found it yet.
Are you following too, Moss?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you all proceed. It is. So most parts of the palace are pretty quiet. The people that don't have souls don't make a lot of noise. They're not a lively bunch. And I think the most noise you had heard was the fights, obviously, and then Ramon is like the noisiest thing outside of that. But this space is markedly quiet. Not supernaturally, not magically, but just the environment is the way it echoes, the way nothing else is in here. It's almost serene. It would be serene if the city weren't being destroyed outside.
If we didn't hear the distant screams.
Yeah, the Godzilla screeches. Yeah, and you reach the pedestals and you see 3 other death masks, depicting 3 other people. and 2 empty pedestals with rough face shapes on them atop them.
I am going to sniff around. Does it smell like anyone's been here recently aside from us?
Yeah. Yeah, you smell a vampire.
How recent? She roll a poke around.
Yeah, go for it.
Wow, that's great. So I just get the smell thing. So I get those as freeze.
Okay. Yeah, you smell a vampire. However you feel about vampires, yeah, that'll.
Kind of ambivalent, honestly.
Okay.
Weren't a huge problem where she's from.
So it's just recognition. You smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you smell vampire. You smell
the faint sense of garlic.
Yeah. You also smell. Probably. You smell what you would probably recognize as the lingering sense of Montgomery and Graves.
Okay.
Yeah. Graves you had smelled before, and you smelled that something was off. Now you know that he was
a blob,
not entirely human. Yeah, he was an abomination, essentially, a human turned abomination, and one particular that was either influenced or brought about by the divine, or quote unquote divine forces.
Okay.
Can I roll lore here while looking at the death masks?
Yeah, please, yeah. Also, this is an investigation, pretty much, so if y'all want to patch up.
If anyone is not doing something to help investigate, then you can patch up.
Cool. I will patch you up.
Aw, thank you.
Greta
I am at 0 harm. So.
Aw, thanks, Greta.
Myself up.
Nice.
Greta says, I'm going to ignore the fact that you asked me to sacrifice myself earlier.
I did not ask you to sacrifice yourself. I asked if you'd be willing to sacrifice yourself. Very different question.
Okay, same difference. I'm going to ignore that, and for the better good, help you heal. As she bandages a part of your hand.
With it, dear, I'm fine.
Oh yeah, what are you all at? Well, Moss and Anne.
I'm down to 0 now.
You're at what?
I'm down to 0 now.
Okay, well then I was at 4, so I will go down to 2.
Awesome. Yeah, 11 on lore?
11 on lore.
Nice.
I would like to know the history of these people.
Oh. I forgot this was one of the questions. That's awesome. Well, okay, so it says this person, place, or creature, so it could be one of them. Do you care which one? Sorry, go ahead.
The one in the middle.
Okay, so the one in the middle is still there. It's not one of the ones that you all have picked up.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it's not something that you know intuitively, but in investigating these things, you touch the mask that is in the middle, and its eyes open up. It does not have eyes of flesh. It's still of the same substance that the mask is made of, but its eyes open and its mouth parts, and it recounts a story. I actually have notes. Not a story, but about what it says. Let me open them.
Rewritten monologues are also cool.
Yeah. So it recounts a story of how it died. Well, they recount a story of how they died. They tell you that I don't want to get too gruesome here. Their life was taken by a crude tool made of wood and stone.
I would like to do this move again
Mm-hmm.
by touching another one of the masks and seeing, asking the history of that mask's person.
Okay. Just to make it easier going forward, I'm gonna number them 1 through 5. 1 and 5 are the ones that don't have masks on them. You touched 3, so the one in the middle. Which
I'm gonna touch 4.
Okay. The same thing happens. The mask comes to life in some capacity, and it, in tears, physically in tears, recounts the story of how it died. again, the tears aren't physically like there, but they do like roll across the material of the mask as if they were real, and then just kind of dissipate. It tells you that it was run through by a metal sword.
Well, for the sake of completionism, I'm going to do it again and touch number 2.
Okay.
Behind door number 2.
The mask comes to life. This fourth person that you've encountered in this fashion awakens and in agony describes being torn apart by claws and fangs.
Does this face look familiar to M?
No.
Good.
No, I don't think so.
Does it say, Jesus Christ, this guy's face is hundreds of miles away?
I'm gonna give you guys a note once you've seen all of the masks, or once you've done this essentially for all of them, so you don't have to worry about writing down what each of them said.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I will touch the other 2 then, the ones that we're holding.
Okay. For narrative, I guess I'll say you do the 5th one. It awakens. It stoically recounts the story of how it was shot point blank with a ballistic weapon, with a gun.
And the last one.
Yeah, it seems to be the most serene of all of them. The last one was stoic, but it was more of a mask, I guess. It was putting on an air so as to not seem like it was suffering. This one actually seems like it didn't suffer, or as it describes its death, it doesn't suffer in retelling the story. It tells you that it was dismantled by an arcane force, by somebody wielding magic to destroy it.
Does it look familiar?
To destroy them. No, it doesn't.
Great. Okay, well,
fuck me. I gave those to you out of order, actually. So yeah, ignore the 1 through 5 for now, but also it doesn't matter at this point.
Okay. You have the note to show us?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
I will take it.
So each of them described their modes of death, and these notes depict those modes of death. And actually, this is the correct order to have given them to you. So top to bottom is left to right.
Okay.
Did it go through?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Oh, yep. Nope.
Yes?
Wait, no.
No? Okay.
No, sorry. There it is.
Nice. Yeah, top to bottom is left to right. Oh, also, the last 2 were the ones that you were holding, so it doesn't matter which pedestal you put them on. If you touch them when they're on a pedestal, they'll recount this story. So the ones that you have are steel and the gun, the sword and the gun. Yeah. And the ones that were there were from left to right, top to bottom, magic things, and then wood and rock, wood and stone.
Got it.
Oh, also, less important, but I guess relevant, they resemble this. Did that go through?
Okay.
Yeah. It's a death mask. And I actually think that's all we have time for. I think we close on you all hovering over these pedestals and hearing these masks recount their mode of death in sometimes probably kind of excruciating, gruesome detail.
Awesome. Well, that's sufficiently disturbing to end on.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good thing to do. Cool. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Oh, wow. Good job, Marcus. That was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Very much so. I enjoyed that a lot. I'm very excited. I really like the system a lot. I really love these characters. The chemistry here is really good.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited to see all this unfold even further. I'm really glad we get another week of it, honestly. So
one more game.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we gotta speed run killing Dracula. So
Pretty much.
Speed run. Let's go.
Yeah. Next game, speedrun Dracula's death. We'll see how that goes. We're super good, right?
Yeah.
We know what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Right? Totally powerful, right?
Before we end proper, can I check in again and make sure, like, did we get even close to, like, veils or lines or anything? I tried not to get too
not that I remember.
Okay, descriptive with
No, good for me.
I think the closest for me personally was when I was describing what happened to M, because I had to be very careful about that.
Yeah. Above game, I think, I think that would have been like the vignette as an introduction to your character, but we wanted to like not.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't want to really describe that.
Yeah.
That I'll say that got me like pretty like my eyes were wet at that point. I full on like almost cried. That was really choice, but also I'm glad we didn't get too far into it.
Yeah. It felt emotional, not disturbing.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, yeah, and that's kind of why it felt like an appropriate time to do it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, sorry, I cut you off, Vanish.
I don't remember what I was saying, so it couldn't have been that important. Probably doing that thing that I do where I fill time.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Half the time I'm talking, I do that.
Never would have guessed that the two of us do that, Ash. Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to do one more week of this. Like, super excited, honestly.
Yeah.
It's been really fun.
I think it'll be short too, because is it a spoiler to say Dracula's in the next room? Dracula's in the next room.
No way.
I assumed he would be.
Yeah.
What?
And yeah, I'm not gonna go easy on y'all this time. I'm gonna be totally ruthless, because I like Dracula more than I like your characters, unfortunately.
See, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Well, I kind of
say
Lady Anne almost died already, so you know.
Yeah, I don't think I've gone above 3 harm.
Jesus.
That'll change.
At all.
So
yeah, M's a bit good at not getting hit. It's great, and I can use with how often I've been rolling multiple actions on battle. I actually don't think I've ever rolled a single action on battle. I think I should be fine to just reduce the damage quite often.
That means you haven't rolled below a 10, right?
Yep.
Jesus.
For battle, no, I haven't. Because to be fair, that was because the +1 you added to the battle.
Oh yeah.
Because that should have been a 2, so that would have adjusted a couple of rolls, but yeah, still having that +3. And occasionally, the +3 when I'm in wolfing out is pretty powerful.
It's bonkers.
It's bonkers, yeah.
Do we get one more level?
Sure, yeah. Is that two advanced moves? Or is it per level?
There can be 1 or 2 advancements. Your call.
How many do you all have left to choose from? I'm not looking at your playbooks.
I have 4 advancements right now. I'm not sure if we should have more.
No, I have 4 advancements too. Because my class starts with 2 and I gain 2 from leveling up.
How many
left
do you have?
Are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 7 left. 8 left.
Yeah.
I've got 8 left.
Yeah, we have plenty.
Take 2 more. Yeah.
Take 2 more.
Great.
Awesome.
I saw one earlier. I was like, why the fuck did I not grab that?
I'll give Dracula a silver sword too, so you feel like you're grandchild. Yeah.
If so, what's the moon situation? What is it?
Not a full moon.
What's the phase? Okay, not a full moon.
We did establish not full.
Does new count as a full moon?
That's what I'm asking. Is it a full moon, new moon? Those are the only two I care about.
I'll say it's new.
Okay.
Dusty, there's a high chance I will never hit again. But I will hit again. That's M's thing. She'll kill. It's great.
I am debating gaining the ability to turn into a demon so that I can get 1 armor. Don't really care so much about the 4 harm, but the 1 armor, that sounds like it might be useful.
The ability to cast spells while wolfing sounds very interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering the other ones are kind of worthless to me.
I'm probably not going to take the metamorphosis.
So I'm definitely going to take
that'd be so cool.
The wolf magic.
Oh, I forgot that I also get to choose a mutation every time I take more than 2 advanced abilities.
Ooh.
So I already have no need to sleep. What else shall I pick?
Those are the 2 abilities I have picked. Right now in the chat.
Oh, let me check them out.
I think I'm going to take Demonic Torture.
So I took Silver Sorcerer, which means I have a +1 to Astral Sorcery, and I can use it while in beast form. And I know 2 combat spells. Cool. And once per adventure, I can produce a ritual magic spell without the help of any scroll or outside source.
That's awesome.
Oh, we'll have to give you a sec to do that then before we actually get into it.
That'll be next time. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
And then I have Break the Chains, which is whenever I'm wolfing, I ignore any attempts to magically influence my mind. Whenever someone tries to magically influence my mind, I can immediately shift into beast form if I want to. And whenever I shift into or out of beast form, I heal a harm.
Oh, shit.
I saw that and I was like, why the fuck did I not
grab
this?
That'll be handy.
That's good for you.
Fair. Yeah, Drac will probably try to thrall you or something because you're like the beefy one.
Yeah, I know, you can't.
Okay. Well, that was a lot of fun. I had a great time and I'm excited to finish this up next week. That sounds great to me. Everyone feeling good?
Yeah.
Let's get murders. Let's do murder. I'm ready to kill Drac.
Yeah. Well, everyone who watched, thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate you hanging out. Really appreciate you chatting in chat. We always enjoy that. Nice to chat a little bit with you guys as well. And we're really glad that you're willing to come here and ask the really important question. Never be afraid of this question, by the way.
You should never be afraid to ask, which one do I roll?
Always good. And as always, of course, we like to say, don't forget to call your cat and feed your mom.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.